couple weeks. Well, you know, life happened. Life happened for both of us, and we just had to take a little
now
break,
it's not happening anymore. So
now it's not
we're
happening,
back.
so we can play Kingdom Hearts, exactly.
Is there a particular... I guess Halloween Town, so I get Oogie Boogie scored. By the way, this episode unofficially brought to you by Lagunitas, Little Something Hazy Limited Edition Unfiltered.
Yeah?
From the Lagunitas Brewing Company in Petaluma, California, and Chicago, Illinois. I'm sure they probably just make it separately in each city and then mix it together halfway in between them in a truck. But it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Little something hazy. Just forget a little.
Forget that you're playing Chain of Memories.
I bet it's crawling with ghosts. Not this level. Chain of Memories. I love the ambience of Halloween Town, and like this is the best moment when there's no music playing, and you can hear like ghosts and shit in the background. It's good stuff.
Ooh, nice spooky.
Yeah, like there's a door that just creaked.
We're on theme. We're on theme. It's Halloween.
Yeah. You watched any horror movies
Halloween
yet?
This year, so. No, I've been watching Haunting of Bly Manor. I'm like the third episode in.
That's close enough.
Yeah, it's not scary, but it's got that ambiance. It's a little unsettling.
I did my usual Nightmare Before Christmas watch the other day.
Yeah, how was that?
Always great. One of my favorite, cult classic films. And then I watched Hulu's new movie, The Book of Bloods, or The Books of Blood.
Oh.
I don't know. I can't remember which one it is. But it was decent. It's nothing to write home about, but, it's not a bad movie. I watched it all the way through. There were some moments where I sat up and I was like, oh, cool, I didn't see that coming. So, it was a decent little, more like a psychological horror. There weren't really too many jump scares. But I prefer that kind of film.
Yeah, oh yeah, jump scares are lame.
There were definitely, so, as I've spoken on the stream before, I have a bug phobia. That was activated a few times, so...
Yeah.
Just trigger warning. It wasn't really that bad because there were only a handful of scenes, and the one that was supposed to really get you was comically overdone. And, like, when it's a comical number of bugs, I'm like, that's not real, so it doesn't bother me.
Gotcha.
But there was this one particular scene where the main character, like, opens up this cabinet, and two bugs come out, like, because she opens it, like, it's kind of, like, stuck, and then she opens it really suddenly, and these two bugs fly out. And that got me, because that was a realistic amount of bugs. It was like, that's literally my fear, is I'm trying to open something, and they decide to bother me. So that one was...
my God. And bugs that can fly are the fucking worst.
Well, I shouldn't say fly. They didn't fly out. They came out. They crawled out. But, because it was like cockroaches, but I wasn't about it.
I fucking hate cockroaches. Yo, and you know what? These spotted lanternflies up here in PA, let me fucking tell you, homie.
You know what's funny is
God.
on Twitter I follow an ungodly amount of biologists. I was trying to find scientists to follow, and somehow I only ended up with biologists. But... I mean, literally all they do is complain about the fucking lanternflies.
Because they're the worst. They're the worst things. Oh my God. I fucking hate them.
I haven't really had too many bug problems here lately, actually. With the cold air, it's actually gotten a lot better. Hey, I had a pretty bad summer with them, though, so...
Oh, you did. That's true. We were talking about it. I mean, things have been getting better around here. The lanternflies have been dying out, so that's pretty fantastic. But, oh my God,
yeah.
for a while...
Things dying en masse are great.
Yeah, it is, because fuck them. They literally... Oh my God, my driveway, like, wasn't even a driveway for a while. It was just covered in lanternflies that were dead or dying, so you'd look at my driveway and it would move. Like, it was just constantly, like, it was so bad. Like, it was horror movie level shit, dude. It was really disgusting. And I've had one fly in my face. I've had them land on me and refuse to let go.
Yeah, there was one video I was watching where, like, apparently they want to go to whatever the tallest thing in the area is, because they think it's a tree. And so there was this one biologist who, like, went out into, like, a meadow, and she was just coated in them.
Yeah. Yeah, they did that to me. Go get a couple at a time, like stuck on you. One of them liked my face a lot. For some reason, they like my boobs, so they keep getting stuck on my boobs. And I have to swat them off of my boobies.
Land on flies, man.
I like whatever sound your throat just made in the mic.
I think I just was like, it was like clearing out a bubble. But yeah, fuck bugs.
Oh, fuck 'em.
Yeah, I was thinking about, since we're in this world, I guess it's appropriate to talk about it. When I was watching the other day, Night Before Christmas, I was thinking about if they did a live-action remake, what would I want them to try and change? Because I'm not actually a big fan of them just replicating the old movies.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about what would I want them to change. And I was thinking I'd want a backstory for Oogie Boogie. I would want for the final fight between Jack and Oogie to be longer. And then... Oh, what was the third one? There was one third one that I was like, I really... Oh! The story of, like, how Sally and Jack fall in love needs to be expanded. Because otherwise it just looks like she stalked him and then... Yeah. But I love this film. I love the idea that Jack doesn't really learn a lesson. Yeah. Because my favorite moment is he starts to learn a lesson and he goes, nothing ever turns out like it should, and he just gets pissed. Yeah. Because I feel like it's the most accurate portrayal of what would happen. It's just, God damn it.
Yeah. He doesn't have this huge, like, reformative thing. He just goes, well, you know what? I tried. So, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just go back to what I know. Maybe I'll try again one day. And then he does in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, that's just a great film. I love Dr. Finkelstein. I absolutely adore, like, how he tries to experimentally understand Christmas through science.
Yeah.
Because I think I've said it before, but, like, one of the most accurate moments in the world of how science is portrayed in film is in Night Before Christmas when he, dissolves the, whatchamacallit, the,
He makes a chemical reaction.
Yeah, he makes like a chemical... He dissolves the ornament, and it glows, and he says, fascinating reaction. But what does it mean?
That's your day-to-day life, isn't it, dude?
Yes. God, I hate gargoyles. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to change up my deck. This is really gonna date me. Did you ever used to watch fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged?
Yeah.
Do you remember the joke for the Villains Council about the deck? Where he's like, we will go and take his dick! And like, you're gonna take his dick? Yeah. You're like, no.
Yeah, because I remember that joke would bleed into, like, everyday life, so if you ever said the word deck, someone would be like, his dick! Oh my god. Yeah, and that came up a lot, too, whenever I was playing, Birth by Sleep with friends, and you had to, like, change your deck out, and so I'd be like,
oh my god. Holy shit, how am I alive? I don't understand. I must be at 1 HP. 1 HP.
You want something to... Nice. You want something to, date you real bad? It's gonna feel weird. You know what's coming back? And I hate it because the Zillennials are making it come back.
Is that what we're calling them?
I guess.
Alright. What's coming back?
I lost the game.
I saw that. I saw that was coming. By the way, I lost the game.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? That came back a whole decade later.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a lot of things like that where, like... I mean, think about growing... I don't know if you ever really had these moments, but, like, growing up, there'd be these moments where, like, we'd have some, like, dumb social game like that. and I would say it or like reference it or whatever, and like parents and grandparents would be like, "Oh, I lost the game," or something like that, you know? Like some of this stuff has been around forever.
It's wild. By the way, I think Zillennials. Oh yes, that is from the Blavery. Yeah, Zillennials. I mean, that's like Gen Z millennial area type people. I think that's like people around our age, like, or the Blavery. Sorry.
Please don't.
Your real name.
Please don't call me Zillennial. I am not a Zillennial.
You're a little bit older than me.
Yeah. I'm a millennial. I hate society, but I never bothered to do anything to fix it. Get it right.
Yeah. No, I think I'm millennial too. I think it's something if you're like 97 and all.
You must be right on the edge, because
I'm right on the edge. Yeah.
I'm right on the edge, so
I honestly, there's no distinct thing. The only thing I've ever seen in terms of like distinguishing between them is whether or not you remember 9/11, and if you do, you're more millennial, and if you don't,
I think that's a decent. Yeah, I think that's a decent one. Strike raid.
I think it's a good gauge. So, I just tend to I identify with millennials more too, just in terms of the existential or nihilistic dread, whereas Gen Z is a little bit more like memey about it.
Yeah.
And I can get it. I can vibe with it. But usually when I try to get into that mentality of like getting memey about it, it's great for like 10 seconds, and then you're like, I think I just don't have the energy to be Gen Z, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And on that note, happiness, Kingdom Hearts.
Yes, I'm gonna take a moment to make a deck.
A deck!
We will steal his deck, and then we will distribute his deck among us.
Oh my god, we're
and
so
then you'll
old.
get on his knees and worship his deck.
Deck.
Ugh, I'm applying for like a government job.
Yeah, fuck. You're never gonna get it. They're gonna find these
They're like, he wrote this excellent essay, but what the hell?
He's screaming Chain of Memories, and he's saying this shit.
Sure, why not? Wow, I don't have what you would call good chords.
Not what you would call them.
Dude, what the... Where the hell are the chords? I need chords above 5. Why don't I have any chords above 5? Oh my god.
You got Simba. You got a fire that's above 5.
Oh.
Keyblades, but...
We really need a Cupo chord. Damn it.
Fire.
Oops. I didn't use my deck correctly.
Well, you know what? We're very qualified to be taking any sort of authority over this series.
I don't know, because I was just told something the other day that I didn't even know was a thing, and we missed it, and I realized...
Oh. Wait, is it the thing that I messaged you about?
Yeah, it's the thing you messaged me about.
Alright,
and
viewers.
So we lost all authority.
Get this, viewers. Lost
They know.
authority
They know.
over this series.
They're making fun of us.
Do you know? They're making fun of us? Okay. Alright, viewers. Forever's here. So, I'm making my man, play Kingdom Hearts right now. Because that's what I do to everyone I ever date. And so, he got to Wonderland. He's doing the tower fight. And he's like, I'm gonna go fuck up the queen. And apparently, you can knock over the queen with good timing, and all of the cards go and run over to the queen and take their attention away from the tower so you can go beat up the tower. I've never once done that in my life. I don't know if that's common knowledge. I've never seen anybody do it. But discovering that was a wild experience for me.
So
Especially because he discovered it by accident.
Okay, so when I did my level run, the guide I was looking at said to do that. And I hit her a few times, and I was like, this isn't doing anything but wasting my time. So I didn't finish the job. I knew you could hit her, but I thought it was just a gimmick. I didn't realize it was a legitimate strategy you could use.
I mean, you could do it without it. It's just... It
well,
was
obviously,
a lot
we did it.
once we figured it out. Yeah. It was like stupid easy. Like, all you had to do... I mean, she's a little bit difficult to get a hit on because she'll constantly push you back. But basically, you get pushed back by her once, and then you get back to her quickly enough to when she's, like, recharging her arm swing thing, and you just hit her good, and she falls over immediately, and then you go fuck up the tower. You could also probably hit her with magic. We didn't even try that, but I bet you could smack her with fire.
I was about to say...
deflect it.
Yeah, that's what I did. Blizzard's actually a better one, slightly. Because it has the area of effect.
Blizzard too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the game just gave you Blizzard right before that. So...
Yeah.
Oh, what a surprise, says Ladadford. Do you know Ladadford?
I probably do. I don't know my friends.
Oh, what a surprise. Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, baby.
Yes, it's Drew.
It's your friend Drew.
Oh, hey Drew. How's the dying going on?
The dying? You okay, homie?
This is a useless spell.
I'm killing it.
He's killing it.
Yourself, or...?
Do you have the audio being read out loud through you?
I do, but but it's Kingdom Hearts, so I can barely hear it.
Okay, so I'll just keep reading it for you.
If you don't mind, because the Halloween Town music's pretty much blaring.
I prefer doing that. I think it sounds better to the audience than the robot voice. At least that's the feedback I've been given. So...
Well, here, let me turn off the thing, then. Advanced settings.
COVID or something?
Nah, his stomach is insane.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you know what? You know, I did have that thing where I thought I had to go to the hospital at one time we were streaming, because I was getting stabbed pains.
Yeah, you probably have the same thing.
No, it was great. Yeah, like that. Steampunk Jigglypuff, thank you. Yeah, I'm sure it was like that. Apparently there is some wicked stomach thing going around, so...
Yeah, I had some stomach issues earlier, but I don't think the audience wants to hear about it.
Oh no. Okay, but did you just eat something stupid?
So, okay, so all I'm gonna say is that colors did not line up with what I had eaten.
Oh my god, are you okay, dude?
I assume so. I mean, I'm here.
Alright, bet. Alright, Drew said, did it involve special gummy treats?
No, it did not. I'm trying to keep off of those as best I can.
Good call, good call. Alright, Steampunk Jigglypuff. That's Jordan, right? Can I just say Jordan?
Yeah.
Alright. Which one this to be? I'm assuming in reference to the game, Chain of Memories?
Yes.
The second game in the series.
Yeah. Man, it's so satisfying when they line up for you for Fire Raid. Oh yeah. So now we have an audience. Let me just reiterate. This episode unofficially brought to you by Lagunitas Little Something Hazy limited release, unfiltered.
Oh my god.
Just let them know. Seems unfair to utilize their services and then not give them a shout out.
Well, I think that this episode may also be brought to you buy this half-drank bottle of Bailey's chocolate cherry that I'm gonna drink straight from the bottle like a heathen.
COVID, it does things to you.
Dude, okay, like 2 months ago, or maybe 3 months ago, something like that, a while ago, I was just like drinking this, just like playing games with friends and stuff, and my dumbass like didn't really process that this is cream-based alcohol, and I drank enough that I like ended up having to leave like right in the middle of a conversation to go throw up. Which it wasn't even alcohol poisoning, it was just too much fucking cream.
Yeah, I can't stand those. Charlotte will get them sometimes. I'm just like, ugh.
They're good as like a dessert or like a nightcap, but you can't drink them to like drink.
It's kind of like stout sometimes. Is like my mom describes them as drinking bread.
Yeah.
It's like they're really good by next to a fire on like a, winter day. Talking about Shakespeare to someone, but you shouldn't really drink them for alcohol.
Yeah, kind of same boat. Jordan says it's better than chocolate wine. I can't drink wine, so I do not understand the reference. I'm allergic to wine. Sulfites,
well,
very
chocolate wine is, it's pretty gross.
Yeah, I'm assuming. It really sucks, because every white girl and their mothers likes rosé, and I'll never be able to experience that.
There's some good wines out there.
I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
Alright, the Blavery says it's all a chocolatey nightmare. Correct. I say as I'm about to drink a little bit more of my chocolatey nightmare. Just want a little.
Did I get that health? No, I didn't, because these guys suck. Fuck y'all.
Honestly, I just want chocolate ice cream, but I can't get up in the middle of the stream and get it, so I'm just drinking alcohol instead, like a fucking problem child.
I got some chocolate ice cream.
I do too.
I don't think I need it right now.
Downstairs, though.
But
I always need chocolate ice cream.
I don't know. As an adult, chocolate ice cream, it's kind of gross.
I love it still. I don't know. I've always had a weakness.
I mean, I still eat it. But, it's just, I don't know, really rich stuff when you're older, it's just like, yeah.
I can't eat too much ice cream. I don't get the, like, some people still be eating, like, those whole quart things
Tubs?
that you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, how do you do that? Like, I can only eat, like, a small portion, like, if you were to go to a restaurant and order ice cream and they jip you and make you spend $5 for barely anything, that's about the amount of ice cream that I can stomach.
Yeah.
Jordan says it takes determination.
It's a lot of sadness, mostly.
Takes a really good stomach. And a lot of cream.
Oh, so many hot lists, so little time.
The Blaver says willpower and a sturdy spoon.
Or a comically large one. Hew, 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 hew. You say your spoon is too big?
Yeah, I referenced it. I remember that.
I was thinking about that earlier, but I was thinking about a different piece. Which is funny, because you already know the context now from an earlier discussion. I was thinking about the part where he's like, my anus is bleeding!
It's bleeding! Oh my god.
I can't wait for this background check.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to get this job.
God, we live in a shitty fucking country where I can't do anything without worrying about that shit.
You can't have fun. You can't, like, play games online.
Everybody has to be like Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, okay. Well.
It doesn't even matter if you're a Republican or Democrat. I don't think anybody wants to be like Lindsey Graham. Like, he's just not a fun guy to be around.
Flavery says, ew, Lady G.
Like, imagine someone sitting at home being like, when I grow up, I want to be just like Lindsey Graham.
No one. Literally no one. Yeah, I don't know.
He represents the best this country has to offer.
I don't know what his personal life is like, but he's definitely got virgin energy. He can't do nothing.
Well, there was a rumor that I heard, and look, everybody, this is a rumor I heard. I am not saying this is true. I don't know. I was told this by a source that often gives me good information, but sometimes just fucks with me. So, don't hold this. I don't know if he actually does this. But there's a rumor that a story came out, and I guess you can just Google it to fact check me, that he hired gay prostitutes, and they came out. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay, you know, just there's a hypocrisy to him if he did that. But that was the story I was told. And then, like, COVID and other stuff happened, so the story got pushed to the side.
Well, I mean, conservative politicians overlapping with homosexuality is not the first.
Well, you know, the thing that kind of bugged me about the story when it was told to me was kind of precisely what I said. Is it's like the problem is the hypocrisy, but the way that, you know, certain people like to frame it is like, oh, isn't he, you know, so terrible for doing that? Isn't that funny that he got a gay prostitute? And I'm like, why? Why is it funny that he wanted to explore a sexuality that he's been feeling, that he was born with, that he couldn't do in his cis marriage? And society had framed him as someone who wasn't allowed to do that. So, hot take, Lindsey Graham, if you're watching, you know, go ahead and hire the gay prostitute.
Well, yeah, that's not the problem here. Oh, that's why the Blavery called him Lady G. The Blavery said one of the prostitutes alleged that he likes to be called Lady G. Interesting.
Well, there you go.
Jordan says, what if Graham spread COVID to draw attention from him? That's a good conspiracy theory. I like that one.
Like many conspiracy theories, that one relies on the idea that the culprit is intelligent.
Yeah.
Y'all see that? One hit kill.
But,
Chain of Memories is great because there's all these, like, sections of just autopilot where you're just fighting enemies.
Mm-hmm.
See, look at that map. Who would design that? Who'd be like, hey, let's make him go all the way around?
The Blavery's asking how many worlds have we done at this point. Only, well, we did, are we counting Traverse Town, I guess? So 3?
Yeah, not many.
Yeah, this is our 3rd world, and it's only our 2nd Disney World. We're at the same place. The last stream that you watched, we're in the same place. We haven't been able to stream for a very long time. Life happened, you know. Stuff got in the way.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be back at it, you know?
Oh my god, this is what I wanted. Thank you, Random Joker. It was like a tiny % chance, and it gave me what I asked for. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Alright, let me collect any Moogle points that might be in here first. Also means I think I've fought every enemy in this world now. That was kind of quick.
Yeah.
I felt kind of underleveled, but I think it's just my deck.
Because you don't really have to do any of these worlds in particular order, right?
Nah, yeah, I mean, why would you give me so many premiums? You can, oh my gosh, just give me low chords. Are you kidding me? What is this? Oh, that really was uncool. Well, I got a lot of potions. Stupid. Alright, well, what's Pumpkinhead? It's literally no different from Wishing Store. Like, they're identical. Other than it has quick recovery after a chord break.
F.
Alright, I have opinions, but whatever.
You have opinions? Go ahead.
Well, look. All I'm saying is that maybe if the government didn't want to be subject to misinformation campaigns, maybe it should set up its own proprietary system for creating pro-information campaigns that provide facts to the electorate.
Yeah. Isn't that your essay?
Yeah, that was why I argued in my,
Yeah.
with the sentence that will go down in history of the difference between my idea and nuclear deterrence is I say use it.
Alright, so it's not really comparable. I mean, yes, it is comparable, but like not to the. That's not like to the devastating extreme. The Blavery says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, buddy! Sounds like you're actually making sense." Like, yeah, we can't do that here. We don't do that in the United States.
Well, to be fair, in the same essay, I also said that we would only ever want to utilize it on the biggest platforms, namely Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, which would cause the government to inadvertently endorse the monopolization of those platforms when there's plenty of other social media platforms in existence, like Fishbrain.
Oh my god! Imagine
You're not
if
gonna
the government got a hold of 4chan.
Well, that's what QAnon is, but.
Oh yeah, good point. Good point. You make points.
Okay, so let's, for the purpose of this stream, there is some story happening that is important to the overall plot. Because Halloween Town's one of the few that actually has, like, big story. So, the doctor is working on a potion that allows you to remember your memories that you have forgotten or that you had in a different time. And so the doctor is saying that it failed. Well, they're saying that failed, and the doctor's like, no, my research is flawless. He has to look at the potion again. But he believes that he can allow you to unlock your hidden memories.
And so here we are, helping the doctor.
I think they call them true memories. True memories.
Well, because we know that in comm we got real memories and fake memories, you know, real psychological shit. You know what's weird? When people have those false memories in real life, that's like a crazy thing that the human brain can do, just constructing a completely false narrative.
I remember getting into an argument with a guy I worked with in IT about a teleportation device that what it does is it copies all of your quantum data, like every quantum state of every atom in your body, and then just sets atoms at a different location to those quantum states to reconstruct you. And we were arguing about whether or not that was really you on the other side. And I said yes.
Deep.
And he said no.
Deep.
But I bring it up because we're talking about the memories and the idea of Naminé changed his memories, but they're still legitimate because they still influence his ability to perceive reality.
Mm-hmm. They still exist, and they're still, you know, as a...
Yeah. What was the last comment?
They're still valid. Jordan just said it's like the movie The Prestige. I've never seen it before.
Oh, it's a great movie. Everybody should watch The Prestige. That is an amazing movie. Like, we're just not going to talk about what it is, but I feel like I'm trying to think
to the conversation, like.
Well, it is, but I don't want to do spoil. Even just telling you that it's related to that movie, we just gave away a big spoiler.
Okay. Well, good thing I don't watch movies.
Not the Oogie Boogie monster. God. That's worse than what happened to Dak.
The Blavery said he came here for Kingdom Hearts and he stayed for GOP bashing and philosophical pondering. That's what we're here for.
Alright, so Oogie Boogie steals the potion. He's gonna sniff it. And he was like, chug it. And he said that would be kind of scary. I know y'all can read, but I'm telling y'all what happened. Time for Halloween Town to taste pain and despair beyond any nightmare. What if, okay, I'm gonna get really political for like 2 seconds.
Okay.
What if Trump won the election and said time for America to taste pain and despair beyond any nightmare?
Accurate.
Time for America. Time for America to taste pain and despair. We have the best pain and despair beyond any nightmare. People say, I've had dreams, I've had night terrors, never have I felt this pain and despair. That's how he talks. I don't even feel like it's fair to be like, oh, you're bashing him. No, it's how he talks.
No, that's just kind of how he talks, yeah.
I'll do it in the lab sometimes. It'll be like, did you get any data? Like, I have the best data. No one has data better than this lab.
Me, yeah. No one has ever gotten data better than me.
Kind of hope this stream never gets popular, so it never gets found.
Or if it does get
My
found,
name
like, after you're already
is
hired and, like,
David Alcroft, by the way. I love this animation when Oogie drinks the potion. It's great. I'm gonna be honest, I mixed up in my head when he drank the potion with when he eats the hort in the first one.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of boring. Alright, so he drinks it, and then his true memories come back, and he starts freaking the fuck out. And now he's afraid of them.
Validly so, we killed him.
It's never explicitly said, but that was always my interpretation, was that he now remembers us killing him.
Yeah.
Oh, baby!
Oh, stop. Don't. Triggering me.
Hope you like this Oogie gift I picked out for you. Too bad that's not in this one.
Oh, man.
That didn't do a lot of damage for what it is.
I can't wait till we get to 2.
2 is great because I would definitely sit there the whole time and every single moment go, oh, I hate this port, but I love that game.
Yeah.
But I will sit there.
All the Disney Worlds, like, this is the worst.
Every moment I'll be like, oh, I hate this port.
Yeah. That's the 2 experience. It's like, it's so good because even the parts where you're like, oh man, I hate it, like, you know you don't. You know? Like...
Yeah. I watched a, this related kind of to 2. I watched a, God damn it. I watched a video earlier, and it was these, there's literally nothing I can do.
Alright, one thought. Bobby, you got it. You can complete
Give
the thought.
me time. I'm just trying to make sure I don't waste too much time on this fight. Okay. In the video, it was the special effects guys, and they were recreating the light cycle scene from Tron using modern technology. And the thing that was interesting about that is, like, it's, you can do it in a, they did it in a day, like just in an afternoon. They recreated that entire scene pretty much frame for frame. But the original took them like weeks. Like, that was the most intensive part of that movie on the development side. See, okay. I need a better deck.
You're not really doing a lot of damage.
Oh my god.
We're not really able to. Ugh. Sorry. The sleepies.
Nice.
The Blavery said it's crazy how this barely takes a minute as Riku.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the Sora playthrough's a lot more painstaking. You just fuck shit up, you know?
It wouldn't be so bad if I had better luck with getting chords earlier. I've had rotten luck with the random number generator on this run.
That's okay. Don't get better.
But more to that point,
Christ.
because Riku gives you your deck every time, and you don't have to worry about that. It's just, you don't have to worry about the random number generator in that way.
Yeah.
But now I got the Oogie the Boogie.
Mm-hmm.
I probably should have done CP. Oh well. Excuse me. So Jack's like, you want to find out about your true memories? And so I was like, yeah. But Axel told me that I have to find the truth on my own.
And then his dumbass.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Is when he breathed in the potion. When the doctor breathed it in, the Heartless showed up.
Yeah. Well, because he would probably be remembering the Heartless from where they were there last time. I would think it's something like that.
Yeah.
I know that this is supposed to be Sora's whole, like, journey being like, I need to do what people tell me to do, but, like, really, he should have just fucking chugged that shit. It saved him a lot of trouble.
I like this little line here too.
Who the fuck is Naminé?
When Jack's like, does the doctor's theory scare you? And Sora says, yeah, and Jack says that's good to hear. Fear and doubt's the signs of a strong heart.
Yeah.
I really like, I think this was the best Disney World in, as far as the story goes in Chain of Memories.
Oh yeah, definitely. Also has like profound concepts and such.
For what it can, yeah. I mean, you always enjoy being frightened.
Fear and doubt is the sign of a strong heart. Yeah, we need to tell more people that. That just means you're not a fucking idiot.
I was watching Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone earlier, and there's a scene earlier. Well, it is unless you hate J.K. Rowling.
I do. I do. But you know what? Death of the author, dude. That whole series surpassed her as a person. But anyway, go ahead.
So I could make a lot of comments about that series, considering I've decided to go back through it. But there's a scene near the end after they do the wizard's chess scene near the end, where Hermione's talking to Harry, and she says, "You're a great wizard," and Harry's like, "Not as great as you," and she goes, "Book smarts and cleverness don't make a great wizard. Courage and friendship does." And I like right when she said that, I was like, I think you're wrong. I think knowing a lot of spells makes you a great wizard.
Yeah, but that's not the takeaway from, you know, the kids movie. Jordan says, "I thought Hatsune Miku wrote Harry Pooper." I mean, he said Popper, but I read it as but I read it as Pooper, so we're going with that.
That's fine.
Well, I remember that too. The king helped save everything by staying on the other side of the door to darkness, I think.
Well, I don't know. I think it was a dangerous thing for Rowling to put in.
He was with the king when the door closed.
Because it's telling kids your friends are more important than an education.
We'll forget the most important.
And
Hold
maybe
on, we're in a cutscene. We're in a cutscene.
Well, now we're not. So just imagine I said what I said at now.
Yeah.
What Sora and Dawn and Goofy were talking about was not particularly significant.
Really, yeah. I
But-
kind of forgot like where we were in
Yeah.
chain.
The next scene, however, I have a good bet will be, because I'm pretty sure it's going to show Malusha.
But
Pretty intrigued
yeah, no, I
by
always
this
thought that when I was a
sword
kid,
thing.
actually, like not even as an adult. When I was an adult, I was like, oh, that's a sweet little
decided
sentiment
yet?
there. But when I was a kid,
think what
I was like,
intrigues
I don't
me
know, I'm
more
pretty sure Hermione's a better
what you see.
wizard, but whatever. But like,
There was a
I
time
get what
he
you
became
mean.
a heartless,
The,
Okay, here's the line.
and
Here's the
if one
line
becomes a heartless.
that we
They
were
lose their
arguing about
minds
before.
and their feelings.
Okay, okay, okay.
They're consumed by the darkness.
Right, but not Sora. He held on to his feelings even as a heartless. And there's only one other man who's been able to do just that.
It's the strength of his heart. That's what interests you. Why the Keyblade shows Sora's heart.
To unlock the mysteries of the heart. Isn't that the organization's mission?
Okay, so all he says is just that he held on to his feelings, and one other man did that.
yeah. Well, we know it's Xehanort, but
If we
Yeah.
did, what would it have been?
you know, I think that there is something that they don't often talk about in this series
I
so
can't think of
explicitly,
anything,
and that's
so maybe
people's
that
ability
means that I
to
really
retain
am losing
consciousness
my memories.
is pretty fucking significant, but they don't really often. That they call it strength of heart.
But whatever
but
they were, they
I
couldn't
always
have
just
been
perceived it
very
as like
important
ability to
memories,
maintain sentience.
right?
Right. Or else I
it
don't
happens
think
a
he
lot.
would've forgotten.
Yeah. I was watching an interview of Haley Joel Osment the other day,
A good
and
look, charm.
he was talking about how hard it was for him
So
to
I promised that I
keep
would-
his voice the same, like to be
never forget.
consistent while he did Kingdom Hearts 2.
It's why
Yeah.
I can
And he
never
said,
forget
like,
Kyrie.
the directors kept getting upset because his voice kept cracking.
Oh yeah.
And
well,
they
I
were
mean, he was,
like-
in the middle of puberty.
They were like, "We know it's not your fault, but stop."
This is so sad. this whole scene where he's just like, and that's why I'll never forget Kyrie, because she's so important to me, and we have such an important promise. And then cut to later in this game.
And then the blonde.
And then the blonde.
Oh, Sarah, where did you go?
Sorry, never mind.
We better keep going.
It's weird to me that I feel like there was less development, or at least theoretically there should have been, less development to Chain of Memories, this version, than, especially for the English voice, than 3D. And yet Sora sounds, other than being way too old, way too quick, he sounds fine in this one. But in 3D, Sora's voice sounds fucking weird.
That's because he aged even more. Like, this was recorded near around the same time with Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah,
whereas, like,
but the
Haley
thing
Joel
is
aged
like,
a little bit
I'm
more.
not talking about the overall sound. I'm talking about, like, the quality of the acting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Because they only
said,
did, like, one take each with, I have no idea who I want to do next. I guess Jafar. Because, like, that was one of the bigger complaints I saw for 3D was Haley Joel Osment really phoned in his acting.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't that literal, though?
Yeah.
And it was obvious.
Although, Riku's voice did the same for 3.
Yeah, oh my god. Like you said, I think you maybe texted it to me at some point, but you said that you can hear the regret of him signing that contract.
Particularly when he does Data Riku. Or, not Data Riku,
Yeah.
Riku Replica in 3. It's like, he does not want to be here at all.
Oh my god, I guess it wasn't 15 years ago, it was 20 years ago. Oh my god.
What, this game?
Imagine signing a contract 20 years prior to be one dude in Kingdom Hearts, and then you just are there 20 years later.
And you have to imagine your lawyer came to you, or your agent, and was like, look, they want to do a Disney Final Fantasy crossover. And he's like, yeah, I'll play that character as long as you want.
Yeah.
This game's never getting out of development. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. I mean, some of the main people did leave, though, and he chose not to. Like, you know, Hayden Panettiere, she got out of it.
So did,
replaced with Alton Stoner.
I know he's dead now, but he left before he died. Guy who played Diz.
Christopher Lee.
Yeah, Christopher Lee. He got out. But I think some of that was they couldn't pay him for the side gigs.
Yeah.
But God, did he do a good job.
Yeah, the fact that they had Christopher Lee in Kingdom Hearts 2 is fucking crazy. And the fact that they had Mark Hamill and had Leonard Nimoy, like, wow, the star power.
Yeah, and
in
Leonard
series.
Nimoy would have continued had he not died.
Yeah. Yeah. He liked the role of Xehanort. It's a good role.
And then they had to get another dude for Remind to do the same lines, and it sounds so weird.
Because Xehanort's voice in Kingdom Hearts 3 is literally the worst part of Kingdom Hearts 3.
I can't figure out if I hate the Remind one more or not.
I don't know. They're both bad. Why does he sound like a little bit in the original 3? He sounds a little bit like when they put that really thick, fake Mexican accent on Genesis in the secret ending of Dirty Cerberus. He sounds a little bit like that guy.
The only line I thought he delivered well, and it's only because it's such a, like, dick move by Xehanort that stop! Oh my god. Was, when he's, like, near the end, like, right before you fight the 3 Xehanort clones, like Xemnas, Ansem, and, Xehanort Young, and he's like, that is, if you could make it to this far.
Yeah.
But it just, he's like gasping for air when he says it, which is the only like moment that feels legitimate to him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think he did his best to live up to something that's impossible to live up to.
No, he didn't.
Okay, yeah, you know what? Benefit. I was giving him the benefit
No,
of the doubt.
I
Well, maybe they
think-
just hired the wrong fucking guy.
Yeah.
You know what
no,
I mean?
I
Like,
think
his
what
voice just didn't fucking work.
I think what he fucking did was he did some bullshit, and maybe it would have been worse if he tried, but I don't know. But I think what he did was he said, I'm not going to be able to replicate Nimoy. He's a legend. So I'm going to put my own spin on the character. And then that meme happened where it says nobody liked that.
Yeah. Yeah, because it sounded so bad. We just needed a really good Leonard Nimoy impersonator, honestly. Because I could know it wouldn't have been the same.
That's a hard voice to replicate, though.
I know, but I'm sure someone does it.
Hey, Jordan, do you remember when I kept doing the fresh chips thing, and then you started copying me, where I did it in Xehanort's voice in high school? I'd be like, fresh chips! And I'd, like, wiggle my fingers the way Xehanort does. It's gonna take him a minute to respawn. But I used to do that.
Like Terra, but like with
Yeah.
chips.
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember. I'm sure it was something to do with fresh chips the first time I did it. But yeah, that was it was just like when he goes, Terra! Or he just, Keyblade!
Jordan said he had forgotten why. Oh my god. I didn't know you guys knew each other in high school. I thought you met in college, wow.
No, yeah, we met in high school.
We went way back. Cute.
We have been mildly opposed politically as far back as 10 years now.
Cute!
It really is mildly opposed.
Very mildly, yeah.
So I'll own up to like some bad attitudes I had from when I was a child. I hate when
You gonna roast yourself?
yeah, I hate when Facebook does like the memories thing, and it's like,
Oh my
hey
God.
Bobby, remember in 2008 when you posted this? And it's like, I don't have anything against gay people, but I see that, I'm just like,
You were such a tool back in the day. I'm so glad. Oh man.
I mean, you have to understand the environment.
I get it.
No, I'm
I
telling
get
the
it.
audience.
Oh,
You have to
okay,
understand the environment I was raised in. The only like thoughts I had ever, like the concepts I'd ever seen in my life, just were not remotely liberal at all. And I grew up in a town that was, well, in middle school and high school, I was in a town that it voted 98% Trump. So it wasn't like I saw a lot of unique perspectives.
Yeah, though the second you went to college, you shifted gears dramatically. I remember.
Because I was like, wait, there's still suffering? What the hell?
Yeah. The Blaber said, whoa, big oof. Raised in the South, I've heard it too. And then Jordan said, before you got that DVD from John Kroger, I don't know what he's referring to, but...
Oh my god. Oh, so here's a story for everybody. I'm gonna call out a big political name right now, and his sexual molestation of children. So... Alright, so in Virginia, they're not as big as they used to be, but there is this family known as the Kroger family. And they use that term kind of like we would use the Koch brothers as a term. So they're old money in Virginia. They ran and operated a store franchise in Virginia that was religious, even though they were just a supermarket, called Kroger for a long time, and then they went out of business, I guess, like mid-2000s. And so it's this big family, and they're hyper-religious. Kroger, they were known for their cookies, and they did have really good cookies. But they were also known for being closed on Sunday. You weren't allowed to push your cart out to your car like a walker had to push the cart out. It was kind of creepy and weird. Because like even if you had your baby in the cart, they'd still want to do it. Yeah, it was super weird. Anyway, so you know, my parents would make me go to all these church functions because they thought I was not well adjusted because I wasn't. And you know, so if your kid's not well adjusted, send them to a place where everyone has a homogenous view that's super toxic. And so one night, my pastor of my church recommends that he takes me to this like kids teenage thing. I don't remember what it was called, but anyway, I just am gonna go on record for saying I am confident that my pastor and especially my parents did not know what this event was. Like, they thought it was something completely innocent. And I'm going to go on record saying that I think pretty much everyone involved, including Mr. Kroger, thought from their perspective that this was okay. Just go ahead and you know, revealing something, it was not. So we I go to this thing. It's like late at night. It's at a different church from my usual church. So people I'm not familiar with. And so they have like this spaghetti dinner thing where the adults serve us spaghetti dinner and all the kids just kind of hang out at the table or whatever. And, you know, I got picked on because that's what happens. And then they bring us all into the I don't even remember the name of the room anymore. It's how long I've been outside of church. The room with all the pews and stuff. Anyway, the main, like, chapel area. So, they bring us in there, and one of the younger sons in the Kroger family, he was, I guess, late 20s, early 30s when this happened. We just called him Mr. Kroger. Comes into the room. And he asked all the adults to leave. So it was just him and us. And I guess I must have been 16. And, you know, I was one of the older ones there, I think. So he starts asking us about, like, well, first off, he tells us completely made up facts. He says men think of sex every 8 seconds and women think of sex every 11 seconds. And then he starts asking us, you know, all these sexual questions about what we had done and stuff. And the way he got us to answer them is he was like, I have all these presents here, like all these gifts and awards that you will get if you know, speak up and answer these questions. And I'm a huge movie buff, if you haven't already figured that out. So one of the awards was this DVD. So the first question, he's like, you know, you can get any of these awards and you can pick which award you want. So I'm like, shit, dude, I want this DVD. So he's like, who's willing to tell me how many times they've had sex? And I raised my hand. I was like, none. I'm 16. I'm a virgin. And he's like, thank you for telling me. That was very brave. Which prize do you want? I'm like, I want this fucking movie. And then the rest of the night, I don't really remember because I was just excited about the movie. But he just asked a lot of really inappropriate questions to a room of both young men and women.
And you raised your hand and loudly and proudly went, I'm a virgin.
I wanted that movie. And here's the thing, all right? So the movie was Mercy Streets, which is a slightly religious toned drama about a con man who was separated from his twin brother as a child, and his twin brother became a priest, and they end up having to switch places in life because of unforeseen circumstances. And the great thing is the con man is a part of the mob, and the leader of the mob is the guy who played Falcone in The Dark Knight, and he also played the, I guess, antagonist of the music video for Mr. Brightside. So it's an amazing film. I love it, and it has so much humor, and I don't think it's trying to be funny, but it is funny, and not like, oh, isn't it like cringy funny? I mean, it's legitimately funny. There are moments that are jokes that legitimately make me laugh to this day. They're so funny. It's such a good movie, and I wish everyone watched it, because I think it's an excellent, like, showcasing of hidden directors who are ignored by Hollywood and take what money they can. Because I seriously doubt that director is religious in any way. I think he just took a church's money to make that movie.
Bet.
And, like, no one knows about it because they didn't tell Mr. Kroger that they're a virgin. So,
But you.
Yeah. So anyway.
You loud and proud.
That is what Jigglypuff means.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's one of my better life stories.
Yeah, I love your life story, dude. I love the transformation that you've been through. Just everything everything. Your whole journey. Blake asked again, what's the movie's name?
Mercy Streets.
Mercy Streets.
Yeah. Jordan, you can identify the director for him, because I know there's a couple movies with that name. If you could give the director a link or something to the people, I'm sure they would appreciate that amazing film. I showed it to Jordan recently, and correct me if I'm wrong, but he was impressed.
That's so funny.
Look,
That's
this
such a good story.
this movie is so good that I bought it on PSN.
Yeah. Drew says, I'm scared. And Blake says, starring Eric Roberts, the king of B movies.
I don't remember if that's his name, but if he's the king of B movies, yeah, it's probably the right one. I mean, it's got the guy who played the antagonist for Mr. Brightside, so Bright Eyes.
Yeah.
So just look for that guy.
John Gunn was the producer, according to Jordan. That's your name. Sorry, but he said it was absolutely incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
interesting, Blake.
There's some
Blake
interesting
says,
moments.
Blake said, coincidentally, my cousin was in an awful Christian movie that was starring Eric Roberts.
Nice. It might be the same movie.
What if it was the same movie? But you said you wouldn't describe this as a Christian movie, just something that disguises itself as a Christian.
Yeah, there's a weak undertone, but honestly, it played a big role in me becoming atheist because the villain makes a really good argument for why God can't exist. Because there's this moment where the preacher is training on how to handle a gun so that he can save his brother, and it's the leader of the mafia who's like teaching him how to do it, and he's like, I gotta ask you, does God have a plan? And he's like, of course he has a plan. He goes, so was it God's plan for me to teach you how to do this? And he's like, no, you're making me do this. And he goes, oh, so you're saying I have power over God? And he's like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you're a bad person and that you're making me do this. He's like, but I'm a good person because this will save my brother. He goes, well, you can't just ignore the bad things. I mean, you're going to rob people here. Like, you have to accept the fact that you're committing a sin to save your sinful brother. And that argument just stuck with me, so then I became an atheist. I was like, that's a good point.
And then one thing led to another. Also, Blake said the movie he's talking about with his cousin is a Christmas movie. So, not the same movie.
Christian films are an interesting genre.
Yeah.
I've seen a few. I haven't seen as many as some religious zealots raised have, but I've seen a few. I've seen the really big ones, like I've seen Fireproof. I've seen Blindside.
There's the one that it was advertised every 10 seconds that recently, with KJ Appa, and it was I Still Believe, and he was always like, you turn on the TV and you just see him singing with his stupid guitar, like, I still believe, and it was so annoying.
I haven't heard of that one. The one I was about to say I have not seen that was really big was, and it had a sequel too. I think it's called The Death of God, or God's Not Dead, or something like that.
Those are very different titles.
Well, I know the story of it. I've never seen it because it sounds dumb. But the story of it is just like this dude in college taking a philosophy class has to argue why God's not dead or something like that to an atheist. It's dumb.
Sounds pretty freaking stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, fire!
I'm just gonna keep healing these things and hopefully they'll die. But yeah, that story, along with a 19-year-old babysitter from when I was a tiny kid that wouldn't stop tickling me even when I told him to stop, and he did it every day for hours on end. Those are the two stories that, like, when a therapist is like, have you ever been molested? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. Hold on. That's a little disturbing, but Blake said that it's called God's Not Dead and it's boring, and Jordan says the pastor from Mercy Streets produced that one, God's Not Dead, 2014.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, shit. Maybe I should take a look.
Apparently it's boring.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound nearly as interesting as Mercy Streets. Mercy Streets was just really fucking good. There's like this scene in Mercy Streets where one of the other mafia guys, like the mobsters, he comes to like attack the con man main character, and he's like holding the gun, he's like laughing about it, like about to shoot the main guy, and then the guy just grabs his gun casually. And the other mafia dude looks so upset. And he's like, you suck at this. I have your gun.
Blake said there's a whole goddamn God's Not Dead trilogy.
Ugh.
There's an entire trilogy. There's a whole Lord of the Rings.
I gotta grab another beer.
I gotta go pee. So keep the audience entertained for a minute.
Alright, so I'll tell you all about the time I was tickled to death. So... just to disturb everyone. When I was a little kid, my mom worked, and she had to get a babysitter, so she hired this dude that was friends with my brother in high school, but my brother had already gone off to go to boot camp in the Navy, and this dude wouldn't fucking stop tickling me. Like, I would run into my parents' bedroom and lock the door so that he couldn't come in. I even remember calling my parents and being like, or my mom at least, and being like, he won't stop tickling me. And he just kept doing it. And, as a kid, I was just like, it's annoying, he just keeps tickling me. But as an adult, I'm like, that's fucking weird. So that's my story of how I might have been, sexually touched as a kid, but it's whatever. It's not like I'm that weird. I'm pretty weird. But I don't know if it was his fault. I think I would have been weird anyway. Mostly because I was weird before that happened. So, take what you want from that. He did introduce me to the band The Postal Service, though, so I can't be too angry at him. Which apparently is also the frontman for Death Cab for Cutie. So, yeah, I guess he was probably into some weird stuff now that I think about it.
Glad I tuned back in right then.
I was explaining that the guy who tickled me so much introduced me to the band Postal Service, whose frontman is also the frontman of Death Cab for a Cutie.
Gotcha. Jordan says, Ben Gibbard, ? And Blake says, did he tickle you to such great heights? In quotation marks.
No. That's really fucked up that you would make fun of my pain. No, I was mostly on the floor. He would, like, lay me down and tickle me.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew, gross.
Yeah.
Electric chair.
I'm gonna be honest. Maybe I'm, like, being apologetic for a rapist. I don't think the dude was being sexual about it. I think he was just mentally, like, slow. I think he just wasn't there. Is more so what happened.
You think he just didn't understand boundaries, not that he was getting off on it?
Yeah. Although he did straddle me, so, take it...
Well, you never know then. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
God, you shouldn't be allowed to drink and stream at the same time. You're out here like, so anyway, let me tell you about the time I was borderline molested on Twitch.
Hey. Maybe my story can bring comfort to those who have also experienced similar things.
True.
You are not alone, friends. We've all been touched.
What's that, like, great line from School of Rock that's like, but I have touched your kids.
I've touched all of your kids. I'm pretty sure they've all touched... No, it's the other way around.
It was another way around.
They've all touched me, and I'm pretty sure I've touched all of them.
I've touched them. Yeah.
God, I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
That's classic. So good. I was obsessed with the kid, the drummer kid. It's like, I don't know, burn stuff. And then when they're like all outside of the, he's like act sick and they're all trying to look sick and he just lies down on the ground and looks fucking dead. Like, puts his arms across his chest like a embalmed body.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Freeze. Heal.
I kind of hate that you don't get any good spells in this game until near the end.
Yeah, I think a big reason why this game isn't well received, I mean, aside from the combat system being weird, it's so, like, it takes forever for it to get fun.
I wouldn't say it ever gets fun, but...
Yeah, exactly, like, even then it's in comparison. Like,
it's just, it gets flashy.
yeah.
I mean, once I learned Lethal Frame, Fire Burst, and, what's the other one I always use? The one with the 3, like, fire tornadoes. And just the spell tornado.
Yeah.
Once I get those, the game will kind of be... It'll go faster, at least. Of course, you won't see any of the boss's attacks, because I'm just going to spam Lethal Frame. There's a great video...
Never gets us to escape.
There's a great video on YouTube called, Fire is Well Balanced in Chain of Memories, I think is the title.
Oh my god.
Have you seen that?
That's so funny. That's so good. Fire's well balanced in Chain of Memories.
And, like, it just shows him killing Malusha in one hit with fire.
Yeah.
3 also had a really unbalanced fire.
Did it? I guess it did.
Yeah, it homed in so bad that you could aim in the opposite direction of an enemy. So did Chain of Memories.
Yeah.
But they both have the
Yeah.
same homing mechanic.
Yeah, I guess I just,
I actually think the
didn't really
problem...
think about it, but yeah.
One of the things I don't like in 2 is that there are no homing spells.
Yeah. Also, fire fucking blows in 2.
Fire has one use, and it is the cave fight in Mulan's world.
The cave fight in Milan's world, and also, like, that stupid minigame on the, on the flying carpet when you need to hit all the
Yep.
switches at the same time. Yeah.
Well, that's because they force it on you. But
and they force that on you. Yeah, exactly.
it's funny that's like the only moment in 2 where you're forced to use a spell on the environment. And in 1, that was just like every 2 seconds.
Blake agrees. Where are you in 2?
I thought you were asking me for a second. I was like,
No,
I've beaten it.
Our viewer, the Blavery, is going through a series run through right now, and he has gotten through 1 Chain of Memories and is playing 2 sometimes, so I don't know where he is. Last I heard, he was giving me texts about how funny the dialogue was in terms of, that was undeniable proof that we totally own you lamers, which is classic.
It is, but also it's how Cypher talked in 8, so...
It's classic. It's like cool how...
What was I watching? Oh, I was comparing in my head when I was watching Harry Potter, Draco Malfoy to Cypher.
Oh yeah, they're pretty similar.
Especially because Grab and Goyle are like Fujin and Raijin.
Blavery got up to Beast Castle. You should... He's playing in small increments. You should definitely take the time to play through Beast Castle. First Beast Castle boss is one of my favorite bosses ever designed in a video game ever.
The Thresholder?
Twilight Thorn.
Oh, you're saying like the end of the...
Not Twilight Thorn, sorry. The
yeah, Darkthorn.
Darkthorn, yeah.
Yeah,
Twilight
so you're saying
Thorn.
the final boss of the first run of that world.
Of the first run, yeah.
Thresholder's a cool
Darkthorn.
fight too, but yeah, Darkthorn's also awesome.
So fucking good. Like, just the reaction
2
command
just has
choreography
so many
is
amazing...
insane.
Yeah, 2 has some amazing boss fights.
I've never, like, you know that feeling when you were a kid in the pool and you would push off of, like, a wall and you would feel like a fucking Teen Titan? I get that same feeling when I'm fighting Darkthorn.
Well, I have a phobia of drowning, so no, I never felt like a beast during that, but...
But, like, the vibe of feeling like a superhero,
yeah.
just feeling, like, really fucking cool, I get that vibe to this day from fighting Darkthorn. Yeah,
when
Blake
you
said,
do
turns out
when
he
you
forgot
do
80% of his KH2 run from when he was 10. Yeah, makes sense. Most of us
when
would.
you do chandelier jump,
fuck. Oh.
or when the better one is actually, you know what I love, and he doesn't always do it to me, but when he throws you and you do the pillar one,
yes, oh,
that
so
makes
good.
you feel
That's
like a fucking
favorite.
badass.
That's like, oh my god, that's the best thing in the whole world. That probably one of my favorite choreographed pieces in a video game ever. Period.
I heard some Kingdom Hearts trivia the other day.
Yeah.
So in the German localization of Kingdom Hearts 1, they got all the original voice actors for Aladdin's world, for Agrabah.
Oh yeah?
So it's a lot better. Mostly just like everyone liked the genie in Germany, supposedly. Anyway, that was it.
Well, I mean, for the American or English, I guess that would be the proper word, for the English voice acting. Yeah. I mean, it's the same guy who voices Aladdin in the movies and in Kingdom Hearts. It's the
Is it
same
really?
dude yeah, it's the same dude from Full House.
Oh. I think Jafar, didn't we look it up? Jafar's the same too?
Jafar's the same guy too. It's literally just Robin Williams that they that they couldn't get back, which makes sense.
Actually, it's a little surprising because Robin Williams' love for video games.
That's true.
But I think he had such a bad taste in his mouth from the way they handled Genie, because he said he didn't want any merchandising to be done, and they did an ungodly amount of merchandising.
Yeah, I was gonna say they kind of
because they broke contract.
Yeah.
That's why he wasn't in Return of Jafar, but he was in King of Thieves.
Yeah. I wonder if the guy who was in Return of Jafar is...
Might be. Someone
might
should.
Be the guy who voices.
Someone should Google that. Yeah.
Yeah, someone who has access to a device that can Google while not disconnecting from the stream should do that. That ain't me.
That ain't me. That ain't me. I ain't no fortunate son, no.
Thank you for your singing, for serenading us, Bobby. You have a lovely singing voice.
I didn't see the exclamation point. I thought Goofy said, well, lucky she fainted. See, why didn't Genie's Wish take care of these ones too?
I don't know, because then we need something to do in this game.
Back off. This is it. Yeah. Yeah. Aladdin.
Yeah, I can't wait for 2.
Heal.
Just,
Yeah.
We'll get there. I'm not having too much trouble.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to play it again. I still need to beat Kingdom Hearts 1 because I stopped playing on my own personal file once we got to End of the World because I did kind of wanted to, like, feel things. You know, wake up my cold dead heart a little bit and watch that ending, cry by myself, you know, the standard Melissa type stuff. But I never really got back to it. I need to do that and feel things before we start 2.
Goofy.
I like the noise when you hit a fat body.
Aladdin.
It sounds like you're hitting a balloon.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like bung.
Yeah.
I really wish they had just gotten some kid to voice Sora in this game. It still feels so weird seeing this body. At least, like, in 3D it made sense that his voice was deeper.
Well,
but
he has
body
his
wasn't.
voice encoded too, and he looks like this.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was a data copy, so I guess we could still make that make sense. This is just, I went through puberty in the meadow overnight. Something about it feels really weird. I mean, I guess you could just say he went to sleep and his balls dropped, but I don't know. It's just wild. It's weird. It's also not how that happens. So
I don't know. It's kind of how it happened to me.
I mean, it's kind of how it happens, but it's not like, you know, his voice was cracking in 2. That felt a little bit more. He was a little bit past voice cracking at this point. Only a tiny bit, but. Blake said that's what happened to me. I don't know what you're talking about. For reference, everyone, Blake has the deepest voice in the whole world.
Not Jafar.
Well, all the dudes are saying that that's exactly what happens. I'm sure that you guys are correct, but the voice cracking in 2 made it feel more natural than it does here.
Particularly that
Oh my
moment
God.
when he says, excuse me, in 2.
Yeah, or no, when my favorite is when Shang comes up in Mulan's world and he goes, Captain? And it's like so pronounced.
Nah, I think my favorite's the when he's called Roxas by shit, what is his name? Sitar guy.
Demix?
Dimix. And he's like, oh no, he goes, run away! That's what it was. He's like, excuse me?
No, he said okay after he says run away. He says
What was the
Rox- he calls him
excuse me
Roxas.
one?
When he calls him Roxas.
Okay,
Just wait a
I guess I was
sec,
right.
Roxy, excuse me? Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. Blake said clock strikes 12 and the baritone comes out. I love voice cracking Sora. It's definitely my favorite Sora in terms of just, like, feeling very much like his age.
You know, I honestly don't remember. Of course, I don't have a particularly deep voice, but I don't remember my voice rate cracking that much. I remember many uncomfortable nocturnal emissions, but I don't remember my my voice cracking.
Can you chill?
It's a medical condition.
Oh
And a
my
very
God.
unfortunate one, I might add.
Yeah? You have trouble growing up?
Yeah, try waking up being stuck to your bed.
Ew.
That's what happens. You're like surgically attached to it. It sucks. Now all the guys are gonna be like, the fuck is he talking about?
No, that was a you thing, homie.
No one has
I
my
mean,
back.
Jordan said gross. I mean, like, we all watched the puberty videos and or experienced puberty firsthand. It's
I
not,
remember in high school, okay. I remember in like the family life class or whatever the fuck you want to call it. They have like the video where they're showing you how to check for testicular cancer, which is a very serious thing. I mean, I you know, my condolences to anyone who has to deal with that shit. But I remember they were like, if you don't want to, you know, watch it, you can turn your head. And pretty much everybody turned their head, mostly from like peer pressure. But Jordan will know who I'm talking about. Fucking Ian. I turned my head, and Ian's watching the video, and he looks like excited and aroused by the video. Which, you know, if you're gay, again, that's fine. But maybe don't showcase it during the check for testicular cancer training video. It was a weird moment.
That's a weird, yeah.
And I just
Oh
remember
my
sitting
God.
there like, I'm not sure if I should instead turn to watch the video, because Ian's face is concerning me.
There was, okay, I got two things. Well, actually, I have three things. First of them, one, Jordan said, yes, Bobby needed to molt to become a man. True. Second thing, weird shit like that happened all the time in, like, middle and high school. There was one dude who straight up came his pants in the middle of a video where they were talking about rape of Native American women. It was really
I shouldn't laugh at that. That's horrifying. Fuck that guy on every level.
straight up fucking came in his pants. But he was like
Oh
12.
my god. Dude. First off, that's a crazy imagination. Second of all, what the hell?
And it was weird that I was in the same classroom as him. I was like relatively near him, and I was like, huh. So
Dude,
that was
that
a thing.
honestly, like, the longer you think about it, the more you're like, what the hell?
I know everyone's freaking out in the chat. Third thing is there was this dude when we were watching that like testicular cancer ball video in a health class. There was this dude who it freaked him out and he passed out and just fell face first on the floor during the testicular cancer video.
I remember a guy, when they were talking about genital herpes in the video, he threw up.
Yeah, so I mean, anatomy gets to some people. Blake said he Colonel Custard, and I think that's really funny. Like, really fucked up.
Oh god.
But... oh, that's really.
You ever
messed
heard
up.
of a
That's
game?
funny.
You ever heard of the game
Yes, Custer's
Revenge?
Custer's Revenge.
Imagine
Oh my God.
that a team of programmers.
Thought that was okay.
Ugh. Yeah, it's a crazy story.
I can't believe that actually happened.
I don't know, like, sometimes, particularly like sexual anatomy, I will get queasy sometimes. I try not to, but it's like, I can't control it. Certain things make me kind of queasy.
Yeah.
Particularly male anatomy. Female anatomy doesn't bother me at all. But
Weird.
like,
Vaginas are weird, dude.
I think it's just because it's not mine.
Yeah.
With the exception of
Yeah.
those commercials for vaginal prolapse, not about
Oh.
those. But, not that they're advertising vaginal prolapse, they're advertising cures. But,
Would you like vaginal prolapse? Also, Jordan said, do you think his ancestor was prevented from joining the Columbus trip? Nah.
yeah, happy Columbus Day.
Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oops. I can't believe that like really fucking happened. That kid. Oh my god.
It's the more liberal and older you get, the worse it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god.
No, something about like reading about human like male sexuality really like I don't try to. I mean, it's not intentional at all. But something about it just always makes my stomach kind of quease a little. I don't know why. But it just does.
Reminds you of things that could happen to your body that are bad.
Well, no, I mean, I'll just be reading about, like, genitals exist. I'll be like, ew. Why, though?
Testicles, disgusting. I mean, you also, like, a Spider-Man gooped all over your fucking bed growing up, so maybe you got, like, some weird, like, I don't know.
There's probably some, like, some
taste
Puritan...
diversion equivalent.
Yeah, there's probably some, like, religious Puritanism in there. Like, some Protestant shame about my body.
Pavlov,
but,
you got Pavloved by your inconveniences as a child. Jordan says probably George Soros. I don't know what he's talking about. Okay.
George Soros, I can't believe you don't know him, but I also don't know him in a way. That's not gonna work at all. I don't know why I did that. George Soros is a Jewish millionaire or billionaire. He makes a lot of money. And he funds a lot of Democrat campaigns and humanitarian stuff. But he is significant because Republicans love conspiracy theories about how he's funding everything.
Yeah. And he's the Jewish man, so he's controlling everything. Yeah, okay. We love QAnon.
Yeah. And they're always like, oh, like, they always have these pictures, and they're like, here's a picture of the check that the protesters are getting from George Soros. And so that's why sometimes... I haven't been
keeping up with the shit.
That's how come sometimes you'll see me post, like, I still don't know who he is. Like, but he apparently owes me a lot of money. But,
yeah, I have not been keeping up with this QAnon bullshit. I know I probably should because it's like, you should know that
no, this is pre-QAnon, like... Soros has been a target for a long time, mostly because he's 98.
Oh my god.
So, old money, Jewish, Democrat, it's a recipe for conspiracy, unfortunately.
Yeah. I've definitely heard the name before, I just never looked into it.
God, like, stop moaning, Iago! Jesus Christ. I don't know if you have sound on, but Iago's just going, ugh!
Ew. Ew.
He did it like, I don't know why the ONG did it, but he did it like 8 times in a second. I was like, oh my god.
I don't like that at all.
No. God, this world was really pointless. Like, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because in the first one it had a pretty significant role.
It did. I guess maybe they flip-flopped them. Although, Nightmare is important in, like, every game Nightmare's in. I think that,
yeah, that's true.
What's his name? Nomura, that's his fucking name, wow. Really likes Nightmare Before Christmas.
It could be that. It could also be the fact that it's technically not a Disney film. Yeah. It's Touchstone Pictures. Although, you know what's fucked? In the Disney Plus version of Night Before Christmas, they have completely removed the Touchstone Pictures logo.
Really?
They replaced it with the modern Disney logo.
Interesting.
And it really upset me because they still want to do like the Disney music with that logo. So you don't get the spooky like that Touchstone Pictures had. Like it just it doesn't flow right in the opening.
So just not admitting to the fact that they just bought Touchstone Pictures and that's why it's a Disney movie. Like,
you know, it's funny. I was actually, because I was watching it with Charlotte and we were talking about like how iconic in our memory that Touchstone Pictures logo is, and yet Disney removed their logo from all future publications of those films.
Yeah.
So the only way you can see it is from an old VHS recording.
Yeah, that's wild.
Because, like, they bought it long enough ago that it's in fucking Kingdom Hearts 1. So, like, you have to really go back.
You have to have had it from ages ago, yeah.
Yeah, it's only on the VHS tapes.
Wow, they must have bought Touchstone pre 9/11.
God, isn't it weird? Where's Aladdin going? Isn't it weird how, we separate time by pre and post 9/11?
Yeah, that's a very millennial thing.
Even
Back to
though
the millennial versus millennial thing, that's a very millennial thing to do.
I don't know,
Like,
even older people do it. I mean, because, like, post 9/11 security is, like, a
I
big
met
thing.
people in like our age group, like
Yeah.
people in our age group, or like people that we could call close to our peers.
Yeah. Rather, Gen Z doesn't do that, I guess we could say.
They have no reason.
They only know a post 9/11 world.
Yeah.
They don't understand that you used to go to an airport.
Yeah.
You just get on a plane and no one would care. And would go to other countries and no one would care.
Crazy concept, right?
But, I forgot what I was going to say. But, yeah.
Did you ever get to get on a plane pre-TSA?
I
don't know that I ever did.
I have never been on a plane.
That have been before.
Really?
Nope.
Memory.
Huh.
And it sucks because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to get on one during COVID for my first time.
Really?
But another
Wow. Why do you have to go somewhere to present your?
Yeah, I'll either have
Anything?
to go present at a conference or I'll have to fucking move.
Let's go.
Jesus.
Rico and the Tito.
Although I don't
Where?
know because, like, we'd have to take Lucy.
Oh yeah.
So it might be better just to drive. But I think if it was California, I'd just figure out how to get her there on a plane. I mean, Lucy flew on a plane from Korea to here, so I think she can figure
She'll
out
be fine, yeah.
how to be chill about it. But yeah, we're pretty sure Lucy, like, when she dreams of running through forests in Korea.
I mean, does she just do the leg thing that every dog
Yeah.
does?
Yeah. I wish I was not in a 4x8 square foot apartment. Me too, Lucy. Me too.
I remember.
Yeah.
Alright, here's
There
some
was
story.
another girl.
What? A girl? Where?
No, I mean on the islands where I used to live. Besides Kyrie and Riku, there was one other girl I was friends with. The four of us played together all the time.
Sora? Seems to me that's the first time you've mentioned her.
Yeah, I guess I forgot all about her. I think she just suddenly went away. I was still really real.
What do you think makes you remember that now?
I'm not sure, but it's been coming back in pieces as we go through the castle.
Gorge, do you remember her name?
I don't remember. I feel kind of dumb. We said we weren't going to forget our friends. Well, now, I can't even remember her name.
Sora.
Oh, you shouldn't be worrying none. If it's been coming back to you in pieces, you're sure to remember her name just like everything else.
So, Melissa,
Yeah.
I just got a text a couple minutes ago. Well, let me see, how long ago was that really? It was about an hour ago, actually. So, Charlotte's coming. She just left. So she'll arrive here at like 5 a.m.
Oh wow.
I don't understand that fucking family.
I don't.
They
Jesus.
always
if they just
do
wanted
this.
If they just wanted to drive through the night, I mean, you know, more power to them.
It's less traffic, but I wouldn't be comfortable driving on mountain slopes at night. Especially this time of year, after all this rain, I feel like it's gonna be foggy as hell.
Yeah.
At least it's not icy.
Jeez, I hope that she's safe.
Well, she's not driving this time, so...
Is that worse or better?
I don't know. I've never driven with her brother, so I don't know how his driving skills are. I think he's been driving longer.
That doesn't mean anything.
Honestly,
it
she's
means
not
something, but like
she's not a bad driver anymore. Driving in a city will definitely train you up. When she first started driving, she definitely had some moments, like when she ran her car into a vet and tore off the siding of our apartment with her car. But beyond that,
hold on. She did what?
Which port?
She ran the car into a what?
Oh, so she was taking our dog to the vet, and she like parked behind it in a parking space, and she thought she was in reverse when she went to leave, but she was in drive.
She drove directly.
And I guess when she reverses out of a parking space, she just fucking floors it.
I was thinking, like, how do you, like, not stop it fast enough? Because, like, I've done the, like, I thought I was in reverse and not thing, but by the time your car starts, like you
now,
recognize what's happening,
like,
you should be able to slam the brakes, you know?
This was, like, I think less than a month after she got her license. And then the siding one.
I don't even have mine, but I fucking slammed the brakes before I did anything. I mean, like.
Well, okay, but like so she had like no training at all. So she, you know, like when you're an adult, you don't have to do like any of those testing requirements or anything.
Yeah.
And you can just get your license with no fucking skills. So she did that, and her parents were like, cool, you got your license, drive to Virginia now.
Nice.
So the extent of her training was the 6-hour drive from Bristol to here.
Jeez. That's trial by fire.
Yeah. And she lied to me about how much training she had because she knew I'd panic about her driving that far through the mountains into the city.
Yeah, and like traffic and shit. If you don't understand how to work with other people around you, that's like the biggest.
So that was a thing for a bit, but her car is pretty dinged up from those early days, but she never got into any major issues.
Other than she tore the siding off of your apartment.
Yeah, other than tearing the siding off the apartment and breaking down the wall of the vet.
But I want to know how she tore the siding off of an apartment.
So
she broke down the wall. She hit it hard enough to break down the wall.
She didn't break down the wall. She just broke the wall. It wasn't like broke down. She just it was like a plaster wall.
Oh, okay.
So she like dug halfway into it.
Gotcha.
But as far as the siding goes, okay, so to be fair, my last apartment had like, it was in a weird spot, and she was trying to get into the alley next to it, and it was a very tight squeeze because there was another truck there that was parked, and so she pulled forward some, and like, it was the edge of the siding, and it like had gotten, it was about to get stuck on the bumper. And I told her to stop, and she hit the brake. And I was like, you might want to, like, reverse and try again, because you're going to get that stuck under your bumper. It's like, no, it'll be fine. It'll just ride under. I'm like, yeah, it'll ride under. But then when we reverse later, it's going to pull the siding off. And she's like, no, I think it's fine. And I was right.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was like, so which one of us has the physics degree?
Yeah. Which one of us has been driving for much longer as well? Like,
Yeah. But that one she didn't have to pay for because the landlord never found out because I just like taped it back up. But
nice.
I don't even think it was actually his property because like that was kind of like it was the garage next to our building. I don't even know who owned it. I don't think it was our guy. I think it was someone else. Which may be worse. I don't know. But
Hey, you taped it back up and you didn't get caught, so
it was fine. It wasn't that bad. But it was just kind of funny because I was like, it's gonna tear the siding off, and she's like, nah, and it did.
and you were like, what did it do?
She did have one like, and this wasn't actually that long ago. She backed up into a car in a parking lot of the supermarket. And I think that guy was trying to commit insurance fraud because she was like, oh, I don't see any dents because it was like, you know, super low speed. And he's like, no, look. And he immediately knew where the fucking dent was. And she had to like strain to look at it. And it's like, how did you see that dent if I can't see it? Like,
Yeah.
and he was like, oh, like he comes out of the car and goes, look what you did, and points to it.
And it's like right there. Yeah, that's bullshit. He said carpe diem.
Yeah. But her insurance paid for it. But those are the three big ones.
And the last one was like nothing at all, really.
Well, that was the only one that raised the insurance premium, so maybe it was, you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, the most significant one, I guess. Dude.
Because the vet one, it was just like, we told the vet, and he was like, alright, I'll get a quote for the fix and bill you. And we were like, okay. It only came out to like $200.
Well, that's good.
But he was already pissed at us because we refused to get what I felt was an unnecessary test for Lucy. Because I could test it myself in my lab. Because he wanted to look for parasites in her stool. And I was like, I will take a stool sample and test it in my lab. Because you're just going to look at pictures. And I have a better microscope than you do. And I can look for biological, you know, exfoliates. So, like, I think I'll just do it myself. Thank you. I'm not going to pay a lot of money. He's like, oh, I don't trust you. I'm like, well, that's fine. But biophysicist is a better job than veterinarian.
Yeah, like, I don't trust you. And it's like, okay, but that doesn't matter because if I choose not to do this test, you can't force me to do it.
Did
like,
you
I'm
see?
gonna do it on my own time. Like, how can they make you do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you see my the thing I retweeted where it was like the worst thing about getting a COVID test is I know I could do the PCR faster.
Yeah.
It's like I could just run this. I don't need someone else to do it.
You know, at when you do the drive-through CVS stuff, they make you do it yourself. If you could just got a cotton swab, you could probably do it.
No,
yourself.
I mean, but like. That was referring to like I could run the PCR machine and
Yeah, you
just
don't have the machine.
do the whole test and check myself. Well, my lab doesn't have the PCR, but the lab next to me does. I
Maybe
could probably
if you're ever
just
concerned if you have COVID, you could just grab a really long cotton swab and give yourself a COVID test.
Actually, I think he does COVID testing for the school, so I probably could just go over there and be like, hey. Can I do this, 1, so that I can find out if I have COVID, and 2, so that I can put on my resume that I know PCR?
Yeah. You think you'd say yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
That professor, he'd be like, yeah.
Dope.
If he was in there. That's the hard part, is because that guy runs such a big group that he's never there. He just lets his postdocs handle everything. And his postdoc has severe OCD, so he's miserable to work with. Not that people with OCD are miserable to work with. My girlfriend has even more severe OCD. It's just that his OCD is about how lab manuals should be written. Which is uncomfortable. because he doesn't like it when you drag things to recycling bin. He wants you to right-click them and say send to recycling bin, and he screams at you if you don't do that.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least that's easily, like, manageable, but like you said, it's in a lab setting, so there's potentially bajillions of things for you to do in a way that make him uncomfortable.
Isn't it a symptom of Asperger's when you, like, replicate mannerisms from the people around you? That, like, the more you...
Yeah.
I think I have Asperger's.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been realizing as we've watched this that I've taken on the trait that Ethan Klein does from H3 with his eyebrows, which is kind of fucked up because he has Tourette syndrome and that's why he does that. But I keep doing the like eyebrow thing, and it's because I've been watching a lot of H3.
Yeah. I mean, you could just... You can still replicate other human behavior without having Asperger's. You could just be... I'm not saying you don't. I mean, like, you might, but it's something. You know, we all kind of socially mirror the people around us to an extent.
Yeah, well, I think I'm broken, but... Everyone with Asperger's is like, what the fuck? Broken?
Yeah, no, you're not broken. Yeah. You're not broken, dude.
Man, he, do you know who Trisha Paytas is?
Oh my god.
So he's been doing this new series called Frenemies, where Trisha and him host it. And she quit today, and it was hilarious.
Oh my god. Wait,
she
is
quit
that the one that
on the
keeps
stream.
getting memed on TikTok? There's this one, this
Maybe.
podcast that keeps getting memed on TikTok, and it's this dude. I don't know what H3 looks like. I'm pretty sure that we, like, on the stream a while ago, you were like, do you watch these guys? And I was like, yeah, because I didn't feel like having you explain them to me, but I don't watch them, so I have no idea what he looks like.
That's fine.
And there's this podcast that keeps getting memed on TikTok right now. It's Trisha Paytas and some other dude.
Yep, that's gotta be
around.
it.
It's gotta be it, yeah.
Well, wait, hang on, because it could be her boyfriend.
No, it's not her boyfriend. It's not, what's his name? Moses.
Moses. Well, Moses is the brother-in-law of Ethan.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, maybe, but it's like...
Does the guy have long hair or short hair?
Short hair?
Then it's Ethan.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like,
anyway,
it's
tell me
not,
the meme that's been going around.
Oh, it's not a singular meme, it's just, like, literally clips of that in general are going around.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, look at Trisha Paytas being fucking stupid.
She's really dumb.
Yeah.
She didn't know that the Allies won World War II.
Oh my god.
She didn't know until Moses told her why Hitler was bad.
Oh my god.
She for a long time thought that Egypt was fake.
I remember that one.
She doesn't know. Oh, she doesn't know what gravity is. That's another one.
Yes, that's the one that got memed. That she was talking to Ethan, and she was just like, gravity
she was getting
is
really upset too. It was really funny
Yeah,
because he kept making fun of her.
An important concept, and then she was like, "Well, this Broadway guy, like, he's important to me," and he was like, "I think gravity is a little bit more important than this Broadway guy that you don't know about." And she was like, "Okay, well, agree to disagree." And it's like, "But no, gravity's a little more important."
Yeah, it was bad. I only know her from her time on H3. I know she's like a big influencer, but I don't even know her from there.
Stupid. Because she's dumb and she causes new drama every like 10 seconds,
Yeah,
so everyone's just enthralled by her being really stupid.
Look, I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt here. She doesn't strike me as dumb willingly. Like, she strikes me as someone who was failed by an education system.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure.
She found.
Could just be faking it.
No, I don't think she's faking it. But The amount of like spite she feels when someone calls her out for being dumb shows that she's upset about the idea that she's dumb. She doesn't like it, and that's why I give her the benefit of the doubt. If she's embarrassed by it.
That's true. And she also quit the podcast, like you said.
Oh man, she quit it so angrily, and it was basically that because they were having a fight because she revealed that he had a drug problem. And he was like, how are you gonna like call me out on live air about that when I told you that in confidence? Which also for Ethan, it's like, dude, you knew what you were doing. Like, don't give me that shit if you told her in confidence.
Yeah,
you knew
like,
who she was.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have.
But then again, it's hard because
don't be a bitch.
At the same time, though, she's dating his brother-in-law, so it's like...
Right. So, like, don't be a cunt, Trisha. But also, like, you know, don't be surprised that it came out. If
Moses found out through Ela, then it's like, he can't really control that.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with Ela talking to her brother about, you know, issues going on. Anyway, so they get into this argument, and then Ethan, being Ethan, eggs her on right at the end, and it's like, well, let me, because like they're like arguing. He goes, well, let me ask you this: who won World War II? And she goes, fuck you, and walks off.
Won World War II. Jesus Christ.
He's like, if you can't answer me that, you don't get to talk. It's like, yeah, well, I'm kind of with you, but...
Yeah. And she's like, well, I'm fucking stupid. Neener, neener. And then she left. I mean, she's Trisha Paytas. She's gonna be just fine.
I wonder how much of it is staged, though, for that show, because it's called Frenemies. And it's how... the whole point of the show is that they hate each other.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
that much because they're able to be in the same room together.
Yeah, well, but at the same time, Ethan, I don't think he's very good at hiding what he really thinks because he has Tourette's, and so if he's really upset about something, you'll know. But that also, at the same time, is why I think it might have been faked because he didn't seem that torn up about what was happening. Which means he already knew it was coming. But it could be just her personality. He suspected.
Yeah. Like he knew that it would.
He's also gotten a lot better at controlling his Tourette's. Which I don't know if that's a real thing that can happen, but it looks like it did. Maybe he's on a medication that works for it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. God damn it.
But a lot of YouTube type stuff, podcasty, YouTubey type stuff is so staged. All of it.
Yeah.
Like it's all one big drama show.
Well, you know, that's the thing is like I like H3, but like sometimes when he talks about he'll talk about what's going on with other influencers and stuff and like beef, and I'm just like I don't care. And you know, it sucks because the thing that drew me into H3 was that he wasn't a part of that scene.
Oh, but then Shane Dawson happened.
Yeah, and he got really pissed off at Keemstar. And yeah,
well, Keemstar is kind of the worst, but like, hear about all that Shane Dawson drama that happened a couple months ago, and how he still hasn't said anything, which is probably the best move.
No, I mean he's mentioned it. I mean they mentioned it when she quit today, but I don't know the story of what happened. I don't even know who Shane Dawson is.
You never watched Shane Dawson back when you were like a kid?
No, see, I was interested in interesting things.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, Shane Dawson was this like emo icon, and he was like a stupid, really dumb, like old YouTuber. I mean, like we're talking 2010, like peak of YouTube, Fred type era stuff. You know, Ray William Johnson type shit. And basically, what had happened was he's a YouTube grandpa, and then he blew up again recently after being irrelevant for a while. Made a bunch of pretty entertaining stuff, not gonna lie. And it was like quality content until people started digging up some stuff about him, and he got outed as a pedophile, and now it's like a huge thing.
Ooh.
So it was like, and then he just disappeared off of the internet entirely. So yeah.
You know, the thing that I find interesting about, like, the thing that he did with Trisha, with Frenemies, is Hila's not on it. Now, I don't know if that's because he felt like 3 was a crowd, and they decided against that, but my guess, based on what I've seen of what Hila has said, and the fact that she's dating Hila's brother, and all this stuff, is I think Hila fucking hates Trisha.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't like it if my brother was dating Trisha Paytas either. I would also be more mad at my brother than Trisha Paytas for making the conscious choice to date Trisha Paytas.
Well, also, they got together because of the H3 podcast, and I think Hila's like, fuck. That's not what I wanted at all.
That sucks.
Like, she couldn't understand why calling fish and crackers Jew food was inappropriate.
Oh my god.
And, like, Ethan and Hila are Jewish, or at least they come from Jewish families. And, like, Trisha was fighting them, like, it's not, messed up. And he's like, how do you not understand that the way that you're using this is inappropriate? You cannot say this.
Not to mention, like, how is it that, like, two Jewish people are sitting here and being like, hey, don't say that, and you're gonna go, no, it's fine. Like, I don't know, she's dumb.
Yeah. Well, then he tried to explain it using some other stereotypes that I won't dive into. But he was making a good argument about just, like, how would you feel about if I use stereotypes in this way? And she got pissed. And he's like, but you can't fathom that someone else could be offended? Like...
She lives in 100% in her own head, so...
Also, she revealed on the thing today when she was quitting what the deal was for Frenemies. And I cannot believe the amount of fucking money they have.
Yeah?
Because she was complaining that it was a 45-55 deal. And she got 45. And also that the podcast takes in all proceeds from... Oh my god, stop canceling me. They take in all... H3 Podcast takes in all proceeds from the Spotlight videos. And Ethan was like, well, the Spotlight videos only account for like $200 each. It's not worth it to like try and distribute that. And he was like, on top of that, they just pay for production costs. He's like, and also 5% of that 55 goes to production cost. He's like, so it's really 45-50, and then 5% goes to actually making this a thing. And she was like pissed. He's like, well, it's not even split. It's not even split. And he's like, yeah, but we're using my studio and my men to make this.
Yeah.
But he was like, I put down $50,000 to make this set for Frenemies of my own money, and I'm not asking for that to be recouped in the losses.
Jesus.
And the thing is like the set's not that nice.
Yeah, why does it cost $50,000 to make that set? That's my question. Like,
well, the camera and the mics are really nice. The camera and the mics are very nice.
So
also,
when you described it, you said set, and I was like, you can...
yeah.
You can make a set for cheaper, but yeah, I guess that also includes things that are necessary.
Yeah. Because he's not using the H3 set for that. He's using a separate one. Which I think is a bad call, but, you do you, Ethan. Anyway, this is like, for those wondering, this is the only fucking, like, YouTube influencer drama I'm involved in at all. It's just what's going on with H3.
And Trisha Paytas.
Yeah, and I only care about Trisha just because she was on H3. But,
if you're ever feeling like watching, an absolute manic episode, personified as a human being, I wouldn't say watch any of Trisha Paytas' content because it's terrible, but I mean just go to her YouTube channel and look at titles of the videos. That's all you gotta do.
I mean,
Look
shit,
at, like,
dude,
the
just
series.
from frenemies, I know how crazy she is.
It's worse than you think, I promise.
She was trending on Twitter the other day because she posted
she
a
was.
picture of her ass, and it was like filled with
Yeah.
like little poop pieces.
What?
Yeah,
Does she not wipe her ass?
I don't know. I didn't actually see the picture. I saw that she was trending, and I was like, what the hell? I didn't think she was that important. And I clicked on it, and all I saw was people complaining about the fact that she was trending for that reason. So...
Yeah, I can't... I mean, I've seen a lot of Trisha Paytas's body show up on social media for me, but I really don't want to see her poopy butt.
Well, and the other thing is,
I hate
like...
that I had to say that sentence!
One of the first, like, frenemy episodes, she was talking about how she couldn't do the next episode on time because she was getting all this plastic surgery done. Mm-hmm. And it just sounded so ridiculous. Like, it sounded like body dysmorphia. It was just like... She was, like, getting her breasts even bigger, and I was like, dude, you're already, like, E-cup. Like... It was just all this... I don't know.
I can see, like, her getting an augmentation because her last boob job went viral because it was so bad.
Yeah,
Like, her
she
nipples-
was talking about that, and I didn't look at the
Dude.
pictures, but I heard them
Dude,
talk
look it
about
up.
it, and I was like, oh yeah, that does sound pretty botched.
No,
That's
dude,
pretty
you
bad.
should, like, not to be like, you should look up Trisha Paytas's nipples, but, like, you should
No,
look up Trisha Paytas's
I heard,
nipples.
like, they were explaining, like, in detail what was going on, and how botched it
real
was,
bad.
and I was like, dude, why
Yeah.
didn't you fucking sue? Like, that's,
Yeah.
like, a surgeon ruined your body. Like, they did serious fucking damage. So you know how hard this fight is on Kingdom Hearts 1?
Yeah.
I find it 10 times harder on Chain of Memories.
Great.
And I have no
wow.
health.
Jordan tuned in for the first time allowed to say, I no longer believe you. I don't know in reference to what. But he no longer believes us about something. Also, like, who else still here? Chime in. Get active.
Yeah.
We haven't really...
Because otherwise I'm just going to keep talking about Trisha Paytas in H3, and I don't want to do that.
I don't want to keep talking about Trisha's nipples. I really can't believe that, like, her swamp ass was, like, trending.
Like I said, I didn't see it, but...
I'm, like, a little curious, but I don't really want to see it. But I kind of do. Oh, Jordan said he's referring to, Bobby's minimalistic YouTube dedication. He doesn't believe you. He thinks you're in on this YouTube drama life like the rest of us.
I really...
Bobby's too busy being in his ivory tower to do that.
Yeah, I really don't know. Like, often I'll be watching H3 and he'll be talking about, particularly recently because he's gotten more into the drama, he'll be talking about some, like, influences shit, and I'm like, I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. Like, I just turned it off because I'm like, I don't know who this is.
I'm assuming he's mentioned the name Jeffree Star like a billion times.
I know who Jeffree Star is, but only barely.
Probably brought up
Didn't
Tati
Jeffree
Westbrook,
do,
James Charles, all these people.
Well, James Charles is a big deal right now because he's claiming that he does not... I sound like such a fucking gossiper. Look, I swear I just watched H3. He claims that, I'm gonna die. James Charles claims that he does not know who Ethan is or what Teddy Fresh is, which is Ethan and Ela's, like, clothing brand. But yet he fucking wears Teddy Fresh all the time.
Yeah, James Charles is a dumb kid. Let's see. Jordan says Star is the racist. Well, yeah, duh. And then, and then said, but yeah, how can I believe you? Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of on Jordan's side. You're a little bit more involved than you realize.
It's honestly just recently, just because H3's been like getting into it. I swear to God, I don't follow anything else. I follow like 3 channels on YouTube. H3, or I'm subscribed, I should say. H3, Technology Connections, which I promise is not an influencer in any way. And Veritasium, which is also not an influencer in any way. And Veritasium's mostly for when I teach. I can use those videos to educate. And technology connections, honestly.
Jordan says that we found the gateway drug. This really is the gateway drug, because suddenly you didn't know any of these names, and now we're like, so James Charles.
Dude, he really never talked about any of those guys until like the last couple months. I think some of it's COVID. It's just like, what else is there to talk about? Like, although he was showing the other day about these mines in Malaysia where they use like poor people as cheap labor.
Nice.
And so the way it worked was the mine digs out the hole basically, and then poor people can just come in, and like they come in huge numbers, and they race in to try and find jadeite, which is like 3 million per carat. And so they're not paid to come in. They can come in for free and look for the stuff. They find the jadeite and then sell it to the company. So basically, the company only has to pay the people who are successful.
Oh wow, so it's just a free-for-all, like, Hunger Games style shit.
Yeah. And this is why I hate this chord battle, because they don't turn off their chords. And I have, like, no high chords. Jesus.
Sorry, I got the burps, dude. I'm drinking some Gatorade.
But yeah, the jadeite one was crazy. He was shitting on chiropractors the other day. That was fun.
Good. Blake's not here anymore, I bet, but he would be laughing right now if you were.
Why?
We have one of his friends that he grew up to become a chiropractor, and we still make fun of him for it, like, every day, because he occasionally comes on and plays Overwatch with us, like, once every couple of months. And this guy is just... Oof, I'm not going to talk about him, but he's definitely an exuberant personality who is also a chiropractor, so...
Yeah.
So he's easy to make fun of for that.
I mean, I can talk about, like, the gossip of technology connections, but it's a lot less interesting. His most recent thing is he's upset at turn signals on the Chevy Volt.
Okay.
Well, he has a legitimate argument. So, the Chevy Volt does not have amber turn signals. It uses the brake lights, which is a super fucking safety hazard. But the US and Canada allows it. So he did a 20-minute video about how he's mad at that.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't sound very smart. I don't know much about cars, but cross-wiring with brake lights doing something that they shouldn't be doing sounds not great.
Yeah, it's mostly just like if a light's out, or if you're looking at it at a weird angle or something, you don't know if it's coming to a stop or if it's trying to turn.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not good.
And it's illegal in Europe, so it's like, alright guys.
No, I do have a question as we have just completed this world. Or we'll be completing it very soon. When did we want to call it today? What's the stopping point?
I guess it's up to you, really.
What time is it now? 12:30? Do you think we can blast through the last,
Was it Olympus?
Yeah.
I might be able to.
Yeah?
It'd be nice to go ahead and get started on the next run when stuff actually happens.
Yeah.
I could stop right before lock scene so that, like, we have a way to open the next one.
Yeah, we can do that. Sounds good to me.
Or if we're filming it, I can take lock scene, either one.
Depending on what time it is. I want to probably get out of here by 1:30. But,
I'm a little surprised I'm still... Like, my idea was that I wouldn't keep fighting every enemy once I felt like we were at a good level. but I
You're
haven't
not
felt
quite
that
at a
way
good
yet.
level, yeah.
It's not really so much the level as just like I'm not getting good cards for my deck.
Also, Jordan said something, and I'm not sure when you said it. I'm so sorry. I missed it in the chat. Jordan said, "What's your current obsession?" And I'm not sure what he's referencing. Our current obsession. I'm sorry. I would have if I.
I'm sure it's
seen
something
it, but
to do with YouTube.
difficult. Yeah, it's a little difficult to.
Well, he might
when
be
all the text
referring.
is the same.
He might be referring to the fact that I go through like phases. So, like for example, I often will go into this phase where I really like watching either urban explorers or another one I really like enjoy. I really enjoy watching is mine exploration videos where they explore like abandoned coal mines and stuff.
Yeah, he's asking what your current phase is. What's your new fresh fun phase?
I've been watching a lot of technology connections lately. I was watching one last night where he was talking about the fucking the People Movers, which started with Disney and then a couple of airports use it to get people between stations. So what they are is they're like trains, but the actual train itself has no power. It's just a metal box, and linear actuator motors move the train, so it's like an external powering source, which is really cool because it means less parts that can break. But what's interesting about that story is Disney officially only built 2, and then the idea was copied by a lot of airports. The 2 that they built is the one at Tomorrowland in Florida, and then the other one they built slightly unofficially, but we know it was Disney that built it. They built at an airport, I think it was in Texas. Now, here's the thing that's crazy. And I didn't even know that this was a thing, much less that Disney might be involved in some weird deep money, black money conspiracy. Did you know that congressmen in DC have a special underground train system that they can use to navigate the Capitol so that they don't get, like, pestered by the media?
Oh, weird. I mean, makes sense, but...
Yeah, it takes them between, like, the Capitol building and their offices and some of the apartment buildings and other stuff.
That makes sense.
So, that one appears to maybe have been built by Disney, but the official records are very, very strange. And so he like tried really hard to figure out who made it. And he was like, maybe it's Disney. There's a company that claims that they might have designed the motors for that system. And they're not the company that built the one for Disney or the one in Texas. But that company is based in Texas, and that company is defunct and has no website that you can access. And there's no patents from them.
So it is definitely not confirmed that it's Disney, but it's very much definitely probably Disney.
Yeah. And it's like, it's weird because it means that they probably didn't actually bid, even though the government requires that they should have. So it might be a violation of the Hatch Act.
But...
So you see, like, there is interesting drama on technology connections. Like,
yeah, that's certainly interesting drama. I like that.
Yeah. Basically, he just, like, he likes to pick really mundane technologies and do a deep dive into how they work. So, like, he'll do, like, you know, a 30-minute episode about how a toaster works, and by the end, you'll be like, holy shit.
I like that. I like that that's one of your obsessions. That's very you.
Yeah. Well, like, another one I watched recently was on how refrigerators work. And about, like, the fact that a refrigerator, if you have a freezer built into your refrigerator, then the refrigerator actually doesn't exist. It's actually just a freezer with a chamber next to it designed to leak cold air into it from the freezer.
Nice.
Like, I didn't know that. I thought that they actually, like, ran the refrigerator. But the refrigerator is a byproduct of the freezer existing.
Huh. I mean, that makes sense. It's just not something you would have thought about, you know?
Yeah. And he talked about how, like, chest freezers Like, you often think about, like, the appliances in your home that are going to cost the most money in electricity are going to be, like, you know, heater, washer, dryer, anything that has temperature associated with it. And generally, you think of a refrigerator as being one of those. But a chest freezer is one of the cheapest things you can have. And the reason for it is because it's a chest and not a side door. So when you open it, because hot air rises, none of the cold air comes out. And so you never have a change in temperature, even when you open it up. And so therefore, they end up costing about $2 every 6 months.
Oh, wow. Guess gotta get one of those then.
He also made the point about, like, a lot of times you'll hear the, and I believed this until he explained it. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Really goes to show how of a physicist I am. But he makes the point about how a lot of times you'll hear the fallacy of you need to fill up your freezer or your fridge because it costs more money to handle the air because you need a higher heat, like, temperature volume. So you want to fill it with stuff to actually change the temperature on, right? That's true because the logic there is sound. You know, you'll have cold air escape. Air is going to cost more to, you know, cool off, etc., etc. But that because there's less mass inside the refrigerator, that also means that your fridge won't be turning on as often either. So it turns out it breaks even, and it doesn't matter either way. And that's my story.
I really don't care at all. Wow.
Yeah. Well, you might if you were environmentalist.
I tried to think of a response, but I was just like, wow.
Yeah. No, I understand. But it's one of those things of, like, you know, if you ever get married and you're trying to, like, pick out a fridge and your husband says some dumb shit like, well, we gotta fill up the fridge, you can be like, actually,
we don't. And
but we could, because it changes nothing.
Yeah. But I don't need to buy a bunch of frozen food to fill up this freezer or buy a bunch of regular food to fill up this fridge.
Yeah.
The other one was like, when the freezer's on the bottom, that's actually the more expensive one, Energy Rise. And there's no good argument for why that would be. Like, he tried and I tried to come up with an explanation of why would that be more costly. I mean, some of them with, like, the drawer pull out, it's like, okay, well, you're just kind of opening up all of that air. But,
yeah.
The ones that aren't like that, they're still more costly, and there's not a great explanation. Holy shit, nothing wants to die. Come on. I like how all the new enemies added in Chain of Memories are really big in Chain of Memories. And then when they show up in 2, they're like tiny little enemies.
Oh, yeah.
Like both these creeper plants.
I guess these guys were created in Chain of Memories, huh?
Yep. This,
wow.
The tornado step thing, or spiral, whatever it's called. And the,
tornado spiral thing.
I'll point them out when we get to them. They show up in Destiny Islands here. And the Neo Shadow all show up first here.
Wow.
Now the Neo Shadow little, like, is the catch.
Boys. Like the little like honk honk things.
Oh yeah, the Crescendo guys too.
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, those guys.
Honks.
But they're all much smaller in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
Even the Neo Shadow. The Neo Shadow, though, is fascinating in that regard because it actually first appears in Final Mix of Kingdom Hearts 1. And it was smaller in that. And yet, it's bigger here. And I guess the idea was to match the way they looked in the Game Boy version?
Maybe. I always interpreted it like the reason that the shadows are super big in the original, but then not as big in 2 is just because Sora got taller. Like, you know what I mean?
It doesn't explain the width, though. They should only be shorter.
It doesn't make any sense at all. I thought it was just to give you more of a sense of, like, you are bigger and stronger now?
Well, I think you can kind of tell if you are looking carefully and you have some experience with 3D modeling. You can kind of tell that Sora's model in 2 is physically smaller.
Yeah.
And all the models really are. And it's to save on memory space, I think. That, or at the least, the camera perspective is just different. Like, it has a different FOV.
Yeah. The whole feel's different.
Birth by Sleep's really bad about that. Like, when you play these back to back, you can really notice when the FOV changes between games.
Like,
thank God.
What do you mean? Like, what if you play them all back to back?
Yeah, like if you're playing 2 and then you go to Birth by Sleep, the camera angle is all weird.
Oh yeah, yeah. Birth by Sleep is kind of wonky, isn't it? At least in comparison. But I try not to. I try to avoid the Kingdom Hearts fallacy, and I know I fall into it anyway because we all do. But the classic Kingdom Hearts trap of comparing everything to 2.
Yeah. But I mean, Birth by Sleep has that weird camera because it was on the PSP, so they want to make sure you could see what was going on. I wonder if 2 has that because it assumed that people had better TVs. Because, like, the plasma screen was out by 2, but I don't know if it was out by 1.
Oh. I don't think so.
Remember plasma screens?
Or like, if it wasn't something that they were expecting everyone to have back in 2000 and, what, 2? I remember plasma screens being a luxury in 2007.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1, I think, is either 2001 or 2002.
Yeah, and I do remember plasma screens being a luxury in, like, 2006, 2007. So, like, if they did exist to some extent in 2002, there's no way it was, like, a commonality, you know?
What do you think of PS5 using a port that almost no TV has?
Oh god, do they?
They use HDMI 2.1, which only,
fuck,
3
I'm
different
gonna get a
TVs.
new TV, aren't I?
Well, it'll work on your TV, you just won't be able to get the full power of the PS4 PS5 out of it.
Fuck that, I don't care.
Oh, you want to see an interesting room? This was not in the Game Boy version, so I might as well show it real quick.
Yeah, why not?
So this is I think it's called Looming. No, it's not Looming Darkness. I don't remember what I just named it. But, so anytime you make this room, it's pitch black, and it has an almost infinite number of shadows. But it's all they are. It's just shadows. So, like, if I fight one, it's just a lot of shadows.
Is it just like an Easter egg type thing? Is there a reason for grinding, I guess?
Well, the problem is shadows aren't great for grinding.
Well, yeah, but we do it anyway at the, well, whenever it was.
Yeah. It's just short of a room. I want to say it's an Easter egg because you get these rooms all the time. It's just a room they added in the PS2 version.
Interesting.
I think they're great for testing new abilities because shadows are very low risk.
Yeah.
They're also great for getting world codes because it doesn't change the world code random number generator. So if you're like trying to get a lot of codes quickly, this is a great way to do it.
Yeah, they probably put in a lot of Kingdom Hearts games put in like exploitable areas like this with infinite spawning low-level enemies. I mean, what about the Pride Lands? You know, when you go up to the top of the cliff.
Didn't they fix that in Final Mix?
I don't think so. I remember. I'm not sure if I remember doing it in the Pride Lands or not, but time recently. I know that they weren't infinitely spawning. You'd have to leave the room and come back.
Am I about to fucking fight the Trick Master?
I think so, yeah.
God damn it. I probably would have liked to have changed my deck first.
Well, get ready, BB.
BB. Is Blake still here? He'll enjoy that.
No. I think it's past Blake's bedtime.
Damn, no one got that joke.
Unfortunate.
It's a Death Stranding reference.
Ah.
There's the little creepy baby in the pod. Its name is BB.
I love the baby. That's the only reason I would play that game is the baby.
And sometimes you get like flashbacks from its point of view. And Mads Mikkelsen plays its dad. And it's like a lot of the flashbacks, like him trying to like rescue it from the hospital while it's in the pod. And so like it would just be like sitting there, and Mads Mikkelsen's, you know, enticing voice. He's just like, BB, BB, it'll be okay, BB.
Baby.
And it became a meme very quickly of him just going, BB.
I like that. That's a good meme.
Because he sounds like so frantic. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Trickmaster is so much stronger in this one. And he was pretty much a pain in the original. BB! Come on, BB! Now it's in my head. Seriously? Okay, at least I got something. Fuck! I hate this fight. Goofy's useless.
This fight's stick in Chain of Memories from what I can tell anyway, but also sucks stick in 1. So, you know, but at least he looks like the cool Trickmaster again, and not the one final mixed Trickmaster that's just stupid.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'd love to see someone's opinion who only played 1.5 and 2.5 on how they felt about the colors changing for them when they went to Chain of Memories.
Yeah, yeah.
At least he staggers, which is more than I can say for most enemies in this game.
Yeah.
God damn it. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. Doesn't work. He just keeps pulling those 7s, and it's like, I can't do that. This could take a minute. His attacks aren't necessarily hard to avoid, it's just annoying. And they know too, that's what's frustrating. Because they give you health every time you knock him out.
Yeah. They know you're about to get fucked.
It's like you could have done that for the parasite cage, but no.
Well, you beat the parasite cage, so you'll beat this guy.
I died once.
You did.
He also seems to have a pretty low defense. But it sucks because they gave you Goofy and Donald who don't... Well, Goofy can't do anything in this fight. Donald can.
Goofy can't get any hits in. I mean, I guess he can't because he has to be able to jump. But there's no, like, special hits that do some AoE type shit.
No, because, like, even his new attack that they added, Goofy Smash, the enemy has to be on the ground.
Goofy's literally just, like, Jay chilling in this.
I guess maybe if you stand on the table and then do that, like, fake Trinity limit thing, maybe you could get one hit in. God, stop. Okay, thanks, Donald.
Courage! There.
Okay. Thanks, Goofy. This is dumb. Even with the slate, I won't be able to do it. Oh my god, I'm so close. Got him. Whew! That was annoying.
Yeah. But that's also the end of this world. It is a little bit later than I realized it would be for this world. And
yeah, and we'd have to do both Cloud and Hades. So
yeah, like I'm fading rapidly, and I'm not really like able to keep up with conversation anymore. My brain's kind of turning to static. So
let's just get up to the. We'll get to right before the door, and then
let's get to the door. Call it. We'll jump in at Olympus. Because I don't really want to like sit here and pretend I'm making good content when I can't pay attention.
I do like that. Alice here like tricks the queen. This is very memorable to me.
Yeah. No, it just kind of brings out more of Alice's character.
Because she's like, oh, you told us to stop the Heartless, don't you remember? And the queen's like, of course, why would I give such a ridiculous command? Surely I must have done that, it's so silly. Like,
yeah. She's like, yeah, that checks, that sounds like me, I'm batshit crazy.
Because she couldn't stand the idea of being caught lying. But it also ties into the bigger plot of like Sora remembering things that aren't real because he can't stand the idea that he's misremembering.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, he does not like the idea that like all of the memories, when he starts getting confronted with like, oh, this didn't happen, it fucking wrecks him. And I mean, yeah.
Sora's story is like abstractly interesting.
Oh,
but
yeah,
not until near the end is it really interesting, like, to watch.
Oh my god, I love watching
Riku's
like, his
is
whole
great.
stuff.
I don't think Riku has a bad scene.
I thought Riku's one was actually less interesting than Sora's. Because I didn't really care about Riku's internal fight all that much. Never really did. I think Riku's a character that I know I should care about a lot. And I'm gonna get flamed for saying it as a Kingdom Hearts fan, but Riku never grasped me all that much. You know?
You know, they didn't do him justice in 3, but at the same time, it kind of... I feel like, had they done something with him in 3, I feel like we all would have been like, dude, his story is over. Like, he's been redeemed over 8 games. Can we stop?
Yeah, especially, like, oh my god, like, they really dug it in like, 3D. Like, that's when it really ended with him, you know? Like, he
Yeah.
got the Mark of Mastery, he's conquered, we know that he can balance light and darkness, and that's his journey, you know?
Honestly, 3D and 3 kind of pissed me off with how much they don't mention the fact that Twilight paths exist anymore.
Well,
They're back to, like, you gotta go with light.
she was quiet.
And that's
yeah,
my
I mean,
only
when they brought
complaint.
it up in 3D, that was the big thing, but yeah, in 3 they kind of... Because they kind of brought it up in 3D, like, oh hey, this is important, this is who Riku is.
They kind of did, but they could have done a better job with it.
Yeah, they definitely could have. They could have explicitly said,
I
"You are a
would've-
master
I
of
would've-
the Twilight Path."
Yeah, I would have liked a more explicit. I mean, obviously it was implicit with Riku being able to navigate the nightmare, even when Ansem cast him deeper. But I would have liked for Riku maybe to explicitly say, like, you forget I can see into the deepest darkness. Like, you can't cast me down thinking it's gonna work.
Yeah.
I remember crying after she was gone.
Because he can't get too far to the light or too
'Cause,
far
like-
to the darkness. That's just not where he aligns.
Because, like, Ansem does say he's putting him into the, you know, the darkness within darkness.
And he was like, "So what?"
I don't give a shit, bro.
Yeah.
I must point
Fuck you. Like, that's just ridiculous.
Pretty much. I would have loved that. Oh man, oh man, this cutscene's good. We talked all the way through it. That cutscene was so cute.
I know. I'm sorry.
very deeper down
It's all
inside
good.
each of us.
I'm too entertained by the idea of Riku saying, "Fuck you."
Like those guys said, our most precious memories lie so deep in our hearts that they're out of reach. All that stuff about finding being losing and losing being finding, I didn't get it at first, but maybe this is what they meant.
Of course, Sora. I think I'm a little jealous of you. How come me and Donald and Jiminy aren't remembering more of the stuff from our memories?
Come on, Goofy. Let's get going. We gotta forget things faster.
And then I think we have a Malusha scene here. Or at least the scene of them.
Just as we intended.
We'll continue with our plan.
I like how the only time we
Let's see
didn't
how
talk
far
through
this
that was when
will
Donald and
go.
Goofy were saying nonsense.
You had your fun on the first floor. So this time, it's my turn. I'm not going to just give it to him.
Don't break him.
Well, do I detect a soft spot? I'm not gonna break the toy. I'm not dumb.
Don't forget. Sora is the key. We need him if we're going to take over the organization.
I know that you're in on it too. But keep it under your hood. At least until the time is right.
You would have been wise to have done the same, Larxene.
Yeah, she's pretty dumb.
Yeah, think so?
Like, that was a pretty easy trap.
Oh, Sora. Did anything back there help you remember your friend's name?
Her name's the only thing I can't seem to remember.
Sorry, I'm a little behind. But like I like when she like walks right into it, and then you just look at Axel looking at her, and then smirk immediately, and it's just like, you've activated my trap card.
Well, it's she fell for the Sonic Adventure 2 trick. Where Eggman was like, you thought you could trick me with a fake emerald, and Tails is like, how did you know? And he's like, because you just told me. Like, I didn't know. Yeah. Alright, so I guess we're at level 22. All that's left now is Olympus for the first realm, and then we do Loxine, and then we do the other Disney Worlds, and we fight Riku like 10 times, and then Twilight Town, and then Disney Islands, and then the Castle of the Oblivion.
Oh my god. Do we, like... What Disney Worlds are even left? Because we did the first
Half
one, like
of
you
them.
said. Thanks. No, like, I mean, we did Monstro, we did... Atlantica's
There's
one we have to
Neverland.
do.
There's Neverland.
Atlantica, Neverland.
Atlantica, Neverland. 100 Acre Wood.
Yes. Yes, that is actually...
I'm going through them
like,
in my head. Give me a second. Hollow Bastion. Because it counts as just a random world in this one.
Yeah. Well, so did Twilight Town. Or not Twilight Town, Traverse Town.
Are there any others? I feel like I'm missing
I think
one.
that has to be everything, though.
Because Deep Jungle was replaced by Twilight Town.
And there weren't that many worlds in Kingdom Hearts 1. I mean, the end of the world. Is that one that you visit in this game? I don't think so.
It's replaced with Castle Oblivion.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So...
Yeah, I think it's just
yeah, it's just
Atlantica, 100 Acre Wood, Neverland, and Hollow Bastion. Yeah, and then after that, it's Twilight Town, and then yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Twilight Town, and then Destiny Islands, and then Castle Oblivion.
All right.
Which around Twilight Town, I should be getting some pretty powerful spells. If not, definitely around Destiny Islands, I'll be able to just take out everything in one hit.
For sure. Well, this is going to be a journey. I think that, this is fun when we do it in smaller increments. I started to burn out toward the end, but I do enjoy playing this. Or watching you play it, rather.
I know it feels like we did this forever, but we're only 4 hours, 4.5 hours into this game.
I know, which is like, we did the first Kingdom Hearts 1 stream was longer than both of these past streams.
I know. Chain of Memories is a rough game.
It is.
It's good, we're doing it. Kind of, but...
It's okay.
It could use some
We need to get
more...
to the plot.
Yeah. We're just not...
We're getting there.
We haven't even seen Marluxia yet, other than the opening.
Yeah, we're seeing that Axel is currently manipulating the organization, as is obvious by Larxene being like, I'm gonna go do evil stuff, and he's like, you've walked right into my trap. But other than that...
Yeah. Alright, well I guess I'll end the stream then. So long, everybody.